very beautiful day here in the city and of course the country at large. We just welcome you to Good Morning Kenya. Karibu sana and be with us until the end of the program. I just want to ask you, how are you doing and how are you ready to tackle the day? Now let me ask you, let me tell you something. You know, anytime you want to speak life into yourself, you have to command goodness and greatness and positivity. It's called the power of the tongue, all right? So if you want to achieve, and this is proven and tested, command, you don't request. You command greatness, you command life into you, and believe you me, it will happen because it goes back into your mind that you are able to do it. And you know, the only thing that stands between you and your success is a mindset and attitude. So command greatness, command positivity today. It's going to be a very good day. So much in plenty for you. My guest is already here today. Umwami Mutacho, just utasikia sauti yake baadaye, but he's here already. But Mike, how are you doing? Good to see you.
Good to see you too. And you've said something very powerful, commanding positivity. And I dare say you also need to command the day, because it's like a new blank check that God gives you every morning to conquer. Yeah. So, and being a Tuesday today, we look into matters healthy living, and we are looking into the benefits of preventive and routine screenings in renal. We are talking about diabetes and hypertension. So, question of the day here is, what question do you have regarding diabetes or hypertension? What question do you have regarding diabetes or hypertension? That is our question of the day. Remember, you can send in your contribution, your question through our number. That is 0716 10 33 01, 0716 10 33 01. That is a conversation that I will be having with Dr. Edward Njogu, who is the head of renal department at Kenyatta University Teaching and Referral Hospital. That conversation will be coming to you at around 9 a.m. Let's have the quote for today before I hand you over to Marie. And it's something that Steve Jobs said. If you're working on something that you really care about, you don't have to be pushed. The vision pulls you. If you're working on something that you really care about, you don't have to be pushed. The vision pulls you. That is a quote by Steve Jobs. Marie.
Yes.
What would you say you understand by that quote?
Well, if you have a vision for something, then you don't have to be pushed.
Yeah.
That's what it's saying, yeah?
Yes.
And that's what I always say, because what I understand by that is when you want something, it's not about motivation. It's about discipline at the end of the day. Because you can start something, you're inspired because you saw someone doing something, and then probably a few months down the line, you're like, okay, why am I even doing this? So you must have a why, and your why must be bigger. Let me use my example of losing weight. So you can start because it's the beginning of the year and all that. Then come February, you're falling off the wagon. So what is your why? And then you have to move from motivation to discipline. So sometimes people do things not because they really want to, but because they know that the benefits of doing it.
Indeed.
So that's what I understand. The vision. You must have that vision.
All right.
Exactly. So a very good morning from wherever you are joining us. Definitely this is Good Morning Kenya. You're just in time for the show. And we have a lot packed for you from events that our colleagues will be covering from the different parts of the country, including today being the Requiem Mass for the late Dalmas Otieno, who passed on about 3 weeks ago. That will be at the Don Bosco Catholic Church in Upper Hill. And the burial is set to be on the 2nd, that is on Thursday, at his home in Rongo. That is at Kangeso. And also, remember Dalmas was the MP for Rongo and also was a former minister then. So the lethal mass requiem service or requiem mass will be today at the Don Bosco Church in Upper Hill. Also, we'll be following up for you events, Skills for Jobs policy, which will be launched by the CS for Education, that is Julius Migos Ogamba. That will be followed. My colleague will be there to bring us up to speed with what is happening over there. And also biopesticide policy workshop at Safari Park will be on today. Those are just some of the events that will be happening in as far as the news is concerned. But right about now, we want to begin with the news on that is health, where Kenya recorded 20,105 new HIV infections in 2024. This is an increment of 3,335 infections from the 16,752 new cases recorded in 2023. 1,326,419 people live with the disease in the country currently. Women accounted for 66% of the new infections compared to 34% of their male counterparts. Let's get the details of that story.
Of HIV report released by the National Syndemic Disease Control Council showed a 16% rise in new infections from 16,752 cases in 2023 to 20,105 cases in 2024. 4,349 of these new infections, approximately 21%, were children aged 14 years and below. During that period, AIDS caused 21,009 deaths, of whom 18,321 were adults and 2,688 were children. From the 1,326,419 people living with HIV in the country, Nairobi County is leading with 151,916 cases, followed by Homa Bay with 104,317 cases. Kisumu is third with 111,367 cases, Siaya fourth with 82,414 persons, and Mombasa is fifth with 56,121 cases. Mandera County has the least recorded number of people living with HIV and AIDS at 1,322 cases.
Question, Amasha, for that report. Victor, we've come a long way in as far as HIV is concerned. It's over 40 years, but we're still grappling with infections, and women are actually bearing the brunt.
Yeah.
You know?
What shocks me is the number, 66%. That's a big number when it comes to the number of, is it women?
Yes.
Affected. But I think Kenya made several strides. I don't know where we actually flexed the rope in the fight against HIV in the country. But I think there was a survey which was also done where it showed that a majority of people are so much afraid of other diseases rather than HIV. All right? And that is a very big scare. And when you look at that number, 66% female and 36?
Yeah.
That gap is huge.
Is huge,
now,
yeah.
that calls for, again, an intervention and stringent awareness against HIV. But again, we also have Wafula here. When you look back in the days in the 80s and early 90s when the fight against HIV was there, it was more of a stigma way back then. Yeah. How was it, and what do you think has changed over time?
I think, good morning, Kenyans.
Good morning.
Yeah, I think what has gone wrong since that time is awareness. Awareness has gone down, especially from the Minister of Health advertising this, the nature and the harmful of the disease. So that one has also reduced the defensive mechanism from the people.
That is true, because even looking at how it was happening in yesteryears, in primary school, there was a very concerted effort of educating even the young ones about the effects of HIV, of which today I don't think it happens. And I think maybe that is where we fall off the wagon, probably. But
that's where we drop
matters of awareness, I think we need to rethink on how we undertake the awareness of this disease. Yeah.
So generally what you're saying, Mike, is actually messaging and all that. Yeah, we've come a long way. And I want to agree with you, because growing up, I mean, those pictures were all over.
Yeah.
And you got scared. And today's young people are not scared of the disease because they never saw what we saw. And HIV infection actually, Victor, to just bring you up to speed, is actually high in the younger generation, more than the older generation. 15 to 24 are the ones who are actually carrying that brunt of that of the high infections. So yeah, there is need for concerted efforts, and it's a personal thing actually at the end of the day. So I think enough said. Everybody knows what to do. So we move on, where the death toll from Sunday's accident in the Kikopey area in Elementaita and that of Zambezi on Monday on the Nairobi-Nakuru highway brings the death toll to 19 people in the last 24 hours. Now, these numbers have raised concerns over road safety awareness, with news that the Kikopey accident claims 16 relatives. Now, Road Safety Association of Kenya Chairman David Kiarie is in the meantime calling for the immediate suspension of driving licenses issued over the past 6 years and fresh training, claiming that most of the documents were acquired through unscrupulous means.
In Kahiga Village, Kanara constituency, the family of Elijah Mburu is coming to terms with the harsh reality of losing 16 relatives in yesterday's Kikopey accident. Neighbors and relatives trying to console a family that is still in disbelief. Two brothers, Rodovik Gikonyi Mburu and Michael Njibu Mburu, are the sole survivors in this family after their siblings succumbed.
Tumeumwa na hiyo nini, barabara ya Nairobi Nakuru highway inafaa kuangaliwa tena na tena. Wakati niliingia huko moshari, niliona kuko na watu walikuwa wamekatakatwa uso na wengine wameumia miguu.
Beth Mudhoni lost her husband, who is a relative to the Mburus, her daughter and grandchild in the accident.
Kaambia Mungu, sasa mimi Mungu ninakukosea nini? Kwa sababu msichana wangu amekufa, baba yake amekufa, kazini zake zote zimekufa, mpaka gasharake mpaka huko Kahiga.
The family is now appealing to the national and county governments to come to their aid and assist with post-mortem and a proper send-off for the 16 family members. This even as the death toll in Monday's Zambezi accident went up to 3 after one person succumbed to injuries. 12 people are currently nursing injuries at the Thogoto Mission Hospital. With both accidents being attributed to speeding and overtaking, the Road Safety Association of Kenya Chairman David Kiarie is calling for drastic measures to curb road carnage.
That is something which we have reported, that licenses are given. Driving licenses, you have only 6,000, you can get a driving license. Somebody who has gone to school is taught to give way.
While accusing the state agencies of turning a deaf ear to genuine concerns raised by relevant stakeholders in the transport sector, Kiarie said it's time for urgent interventions to be instituted as a means of averting any further losses of lives.
Indeed, our condolences to those who lost their lives in the road accident. And probably I want to just put a question to our guest, that is Wafula Mutacho. I don't know what your take is, because in terms of revoking licenses, retraining and all that, those have been done before. You know, we've seen police, especially during the festivities like this, where they man the roadblocks and all that. Do you think this is the way to go? Is it effective? Wafula.
Do you think revoking license is the way to go?
I don't think. Let us just leave the law to take its action. Yeah, because it's not everybody, and we should just borrow like our neighboring countries. Just find somebody instead of revoking the license. Yeah, because sometimes the accident happens without, you cannot even come into it. Maybe the brakes has failed, or maybe it was, I'm a driver also, and I've caused an accident before, and I was actually escaping to hit a motorbike, and finally I rammed into another vehicle the other side. So sometimes it has some challenges. The revoking of the license is not a way to go.
Yeah, and also about road accidents. Actually, in today's dailies, that is the Daily Nation, the tabulation here, they're saying over 3,397 is the number of people who have died due to road accidents between January 1 and September 14th. That is this month. That is a number too high. And given that year in, year out, we talk about road safety, I think it narrows down to one when it comes to road safety and how you behave as you drive along our roads. Victor?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I think the most notorious road which has been talked about is the Nakuru-Nairobi highway. Mm-hmm. Ever since the introduction of the SGR between Nairobi and Mombasa, we'll all agree that road accidents have significantly reduced on that road. Mm-hmm. But then now, between Nairobi heading towards the Western Circuit, there is a lot of accidents, let alone Nairobi, Narok, Kisii, Bomet highway. Yeah. The most notorious one is between Nairobi, actually, just from Kikuyu, Rironi, as you head towards Western Kenya, that is the most notorious spot. But way back in the days, Maria, as you take it over, you remember Sachangwan?
Yes.
Yeah. Ever since the separation and building of the barricade and the barrier in between, again, accident reduced on that road. So I think it's an accident. And whatever we saw from the CCTV footage of that accident that happened yesterday, but one, it was a head-on collision, and some of them are actually preventable. In fact, the easiest thing to prevent is a head-on collision in any accident. Okay. Evading a motorbike sometimes, you know, it can be a bit tricky, but a head-on collision, one of the most rare ones, but it's a deadly. We condole with the families either way. Indeed.
And Victor, you're bringing the issue of road infrastructure in terms of construction and all that. So in most cases, when we talk about road accidents, we're looking at the driver, probably the pedestrians, and all that. But much is not talked about how the roads are constructed. Because just like you've put in Sachangwan, what happened? They just had to barricade there, and you know, it has reduced the accidents. So I think also it's high time in terms of the contractors, when they're putting up the roads. How do you separate, you know, our roads are congested, you know, you have the motorbikes there, then you have the vehicles there, then you have people crossing. And in some cases you have cows and donkeys sharing the same road. So what are the chances that this can actually cause accidents? So I think it's high time that people look at not just the drivers and unroadworthy vehicles, but also how the roads are constructed to separate people from the vehicles. So that's my take. Let's move on, where Deputy President Kithure Kindiki has maintained that the e-government procurement is here to stay despite cited hiccups in its implementation. Now, the DP was responding to the Council of Governors, which decried that the new procurement system was not functional and has become a hindrance in procuring critical commodities for county governments, including medicine for county health facilities. Now, Giverson Maina puts this report into perspective.
A stalemate over the implementation of electronic government procurement system is looming following a sharp disagreement between the national and the county governments.
A lot of governors have been frozen here by their fuel vendors. Our municipalities, if they don't get fuel for 2 days, all the garbage is placed on the roads, and it becomes impossible to even visit our towns.
COG Chairperson Ahmed Abdullahi, however, stated the governors were not opposed to the automation of government procurement.
I want to put that on record. We have no problem whatsoever with automation. But, Your Excellency, we feel that this EGP thing, along the road, you people will either realize that you are not given the full picture and would ask to revise it, or it will be implemented with pain that was not necessary.
In his response, Deputy President Kithure Kindiki said the government will not back down on its decision, adding the move was aimed at rooting out corruption.
We must preserve and implement devolution, because the issues that devolution was supposed to resolve are as critical as they were 15 years ago when we enacted the constitution we have today.
The second in command calling for speedy settling of pending bills accruing to 720 billion Kenyan shillings.
Out of which 172 billion is with the county governments, and we must confront that issue and resolve it once and for all. And it is not impossible. It is very possible, actually.
Health Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale used the platform to defend the transition from Linda Mama to Inua Jamii program.
And Excellency, let me make it also very clear that teenage mothers, wherever they are in our country, they have a direct access to health care paid by the government of Kenya through the Social Health Authority.
Give us.
And the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IBC, will push for more resources to roll out the country-wide mass voter registration after the Thursday, November 27, 2025 by-elections. IBC Chairperson Erastus Ethekon, who oversaw the launch of the National Continuous Voter Registration, said the Commission aims to register at least 6 million new voters. The exercise is being conducted in all the 290 constituencies.
The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission Chairperson Erastus Ethekon reiterated the Commission's commitment to ensure all eligible voters have been registered before the 2027 general elections. He dismissed fears that the Commission is time-barred from conducting the civic exercise.
And we are supposed to register citizens, eligible voters, for a period up to 8 months before the general elections. That's when we will close the registration process and clean up the register, do the voter register audit, and then publish the register. So we are doing registration in phases, and this is phase 1, which will be focused at the constituency level. Then phase 2 will now go further down to the wards and villages. And that is, for that one, we will get enhanced funding as well, so that we conduct that mass voter registration exercise as well.
Ethekon revealed the electoral body had upgraded the technology to integrate the new biometric voter registration module into the Kenya Integrated Election Management System to allow faster, more secure and reliable services. The IEBC is now pushing for more resources to facilitate mass voter registration to be launched after November 27th by-elections.
Well, I think our BVR, what you call biometric voter registration kits, are configured to take into account all those identifiers which are unique to an individual. And that's why we do the fingerprints, but also the facial features to allow us to authenticate that indeed, besides what is in the ID, the person who has been registered as a voter is the right person.
The continuous voter registration will also facilitate the transfer of voters registered in one polling station to another. The IBC aims to increase the voter roll to 28 million by registering 6 million new voters.
Well, and the voter registration is on, and so just make sure that if you're a new voter, you have your ID and you'll be able to register. And if you need to change your details, the window is also open for you to do that. Victor, 6 million new voters. I'm not so sure if IBC will be able to hit that target.
I think they're going to do their best. Ethekon and the team has their work cut out for them. Having in mind that 8 million people did not vote in the last general election. So yesterday when you talked about that, the new target is people who just graduated from high school or campus and do not have their voters card and need to register. But 6.3 million voters, I think they can hit that target. Give it plus or minus, according to me. The interest right now amongst Kenyans to vote and take part in all the civic exercise is upbeat, and I think Kenyans are going to register. According to me, people are going to turn out. If they're not going to hit the 6.3, then probably 4 or 5 point something
So the issue is not really the registration per se, but 8 million also missing to vote. That's also another thing altogether. And so it's one thing to register, it's another thing to get people to vote, but that's also another discussion. Wafula Mutacho, let me put this question to you. The e-procurement system, the governors are complaining that it's not working very well for them. Is it a good move for the government?
Like last time when I was here, I alluded about the e-system. I think it is the best system to go, because most of the procurements, like I said last time, I lost some tenders because of interest from other parts when doing the tender. So with the e-procurement system, at least everything is put in the portal. So you can just see the person who won the tender had all the requirements and the pricing was okay. That is what we want to see. But this present system, it has been misused so much. So I support the government directive that the e-system should take place.
You know, it's also something that the government has touted it as a way that will enhance accountability and transparency. But also, governors are complaining about their services being affected. So I think it's the high time, first of all the loopholes within the system be addressed first. Before the whole system can now be rolled out countrywide to ensure that whatever they are saying about transparency and accountability is achieved, and to see if government services will be rolling out smoothly.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So I just want to end it right there. I know we have a guest in studio, Dr. Richard Bosire, but Victor will be introducing him to you.
Oh, yes.
One of our political analysts.
Absolutely.
But probably I could just get a sentiment from him. Dr. Bosire, welcome to the program. What's your take on...
I think we just need to save his voice for the next.
That's fine.
Okay.
So that's where we bring the news to an end. Thank you so much, as always, for your time and your company. My name is Mariambo, and definitely following for you different events across the country in as far as the news is concerned. So you want to stay here and get updated as far as the news is concerned. My name is Mariambo, and Victor, over to you.
Nimepotea njia and I don't know where I am. Kichaka, it's fast and short.
Umesikia sauti?
Mbeza jilala. Kutujui mtoto wako wako wapi?
Sasa hii stress inatoka wapi?
Hakiu mlevi asikuja hapa na makelele zake.
Mbona kuna makelele huko nje?
Msichana wetu amerudi.
Sisi ndio tunafaa kuja kuulizia maendeleo ya kesi ya mtoto wetu ama ni wewe?
We are shining the spotlight on the women who are shaping the Kenya's film and theatre industry.
My birth was a performance in itself.
Oh, girl.
I would put skits.
Yes.
You know, and I was the character, the actor in all the skits. I was the mother, I was the father, I was the brother, I was the sister, I was the house girl, I was everybody.
I don't think there's any actor whose parents have forced them to be actors.
Of course.
Like, you must be an actor, forget about being a doctor, be an actor.
When you walk into a room, first of all, people judge you and they want to see, are you creative enough? And then the next thing is, if you're in a leadership role, can you lead?
Because at times people think it's the relationship with that woman that will give you the job. You show them, no, bring me the skills, and I will tell you whether you can work with me or not.
You can't expect everything to just be served to you on a silver platter. This industry needs people to be hardworking.
It's art, it's culture, it's fun, it's attitude.
As you can see with me, I have this handkerchief. And is it really a handkerchief or is it?
My name is Kevin Kasioki. Please join me each and every Friday at 8 p.m. only on KBC Channel 1.
Good morning. Welcome back. It's now 7 minutes past 7 a.m. Let's do this. It's people and politics. You know, that is what I love doing most. Let's talk about politics. First of all, let me introduce my guest once again. Of course, Wafula Mutacho is the Ford Kenya chairperson, Trans Nzoia County. He's also an entrepreneur. He's a politician. He's a man who wears so many hats at the same time. And a lot of analysis that we've discussed here on set, all of them have actually come to pass. So yesterday night when we were having a banter, I told him, why don't we just call you Prophet Wafula? You know, Western is known for so many things, that right?
We have
Jehovah. Wafula, Jehovah Mutacho, you know, Prophet Mutacho. I mean, we have so many.
Yes, of Tungarene.
Exactly.
Yes, of Kitale.
Exactly.
And you know, we had Elijah Namema, who was also a prophet. You know, you've forgotten that.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Karibu sana. And of course, Dr. Richard Bosire is a lecturer of political science.
Ambassador, you know, is a permanent.
Yes. Oh, check that again. Check that again.
I'm saying ambassador is a permanent title.
Right.
You don't take it in, remove it.
Ambassador,
it should
Dr.
stick. Yeah.
Richard Bosire. Yeah. He's a lecturer of University of at the University of Nairobi.
I'm also an elder of the church, so
elder
that
a
prophet knows the connection.
He's also chair of UWASU. UWASU is the university's academic staff union. Dr. welcome to the program, Ambassador.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good to have you as well.
Thank you.
Let me start where I should. And let me quote what you said, Dr. that the government prioritizes things that will not help this country move forward. There is money to build houses, but no money for education. That is UWASU Chair Dr. Richard Bosire. This also 19th of September. I quote you.
Yes. That's come to pass also. I think I'm also a prophet.
Okay.
Yeah. What we see in the country, you know, is unbelievable. That all universities have shut down because of government failing to honor a CBA, a signed CBA, a registered CBA with the Labor Relations Court, I mean the Employment and Labor Relations Court, and which is actually has the force of law. And government has not implemented. They have partially implemented the CBA 2021-2025, but university workers are out because our demands were only three, mainly three.
One
is implementation of the second phase of the 2021-2025 CBA, which had a 2.73 billion cost to implement, which actually government has already implemented. But there is an older one, 2017-2021, with 7.9 billion, which government has said nothing about. When you pay debts, should stop, and therefore we should negotiate CBAs and register CBAs before the beginning of the CBA period. We should have registered by end of June 2025, which has already passed. We gave them, the government, our proposal in February this year, and up to now, nothing has happened. No response, not even a letter from the ministry. No negotiations have started. And it's amazing that, or shocking, that the minister, the CS Education, comes on air and says they have met our demands, we should go back to work. I mean, what is he talking about? He only did an appetizer. The 2.7 billion was an appetizer. Members were getting little money out of that. The public might think it's a lot of money, but members were being paid 30,000, 40,000 for that period. And we have almost three times what they have already paid. Remaining. Government should seriously address this matter. Once these matters are addressed, then there will be no reason why the strike should be on. It will be called off. Government should move with speed and ensure that these demands are met. There is a lot of money that they're spending on building houses and other things, so they can put that money in education. And, thinking widely, the education system should be the priority of this country. A country that does not prioritize education, even families that did not prioritize education. We have neighbors. Yeah. We have been to school. Those of us who went to school, our mothers, our fathers, sacrificed and took us to school. There is a difference. You can see a difference in terms of growth and development of such families. We don't need examples as a country. We know that that is the best way for our future and for our children.
Okay.
So, government should prioritize education, provide sufficient resources. In fact, I would say equalize access to university funding by our students. This thing of saying some students are more richer than others. Students are never rich or poor. They are all equal. If their parents have advantages, we cannot say, or disadvantages, we cannot say the students actually are poor and others are rich. Let us treat our students as students, treat them equally, and let them, government sponsor all of them like we used to be during our time. Access to food, give the students food, give them the loans, let them repay the loans after they finish school, and they should learn knowing that the country is equal. People are equal. Not that the rich will be able to go to universities abroad, they would be able to live better lives at university when the children of the poor are walking in slippers.
Okay.
At the universities, let them equalize.
Let me bring in Wafula here. And even as I bring you, university students also threaten to go on strike. And they're asking the government, they are threatening to join the university lecturers to protest if the government does not settle salary arrears and allowances. Remember, we have got first years who just joined 2-3 weeks ago, and they have not even done their induction, and here you are with strikes. University of Moi University, some of the students who are taking medicine say they would stay in campus for close to 6-7 years, even more.
Nine actually.
That's unfair.
You see, that is me. If I may comment on students, we are ready. Lecturers, actually, this is not about lecturers alone. It's all university workers are on strike.
Thank you. Let me bring in Wafula. Wafula, you've heard what he said, but the issue of lecturers and teachers strike across the country is not a new phenomenon to us.
I don't know how I can chip in, because when I remember Moi University used to do well, it used to be a very good university, a big university, but now it has collapsed. And when I compare the public and private universities, you can see that the private universities are doing well. They're making money. What is wrong with our our public universities? Because students pay, they are funded from the main exchequer, And you find that now you see lecturers are going without salaries. So many things are happening. I remember when the former Vice Chancellor of KU was there, he directed a lot of money in constructions. He built so many, even some unnecessary buildings. He put up so many buildings and opened up so many campuses. Those money were coming from where? Now the university has no money. What's wrong? Students are paying. So there is something, there is some disconnect. Somebody hinted me that sometimes there is an outside hand that gets into university accounts. That's why the universities are collapsing. I don't know, Prof.
I mean, I could say something, Victor, on that respect. The problem is government has continually or continuously or gradually reduced the amount of money that go to universities. For example, the University of Nairobi, for instance, used to receive capitation of about, let's say, 600 million. And the budget is 800 million plus. So the university could meet the difference. As we speak, the university receives 150 million Kenya shillings to meet a budget of 800 million per month. So the money that used to they used to build those things, is now been taken to pay salaries. Universities are suffering. The funding model is not working. The new funding model is not working. Another thing, government has actually to increase funding for universities, for universities to stay afloat. University cannot be there just struggling to pay salaries only. Others cannot even manage to pay those salaries. So what happens to programs? Buying reagents, equipping laboratories, and refurbishing classrooms and all that, and numbers have gone up, building new lecture halls and all that. But government actually turns a blind eye. What government does is increase the number of students. Like now, I saw 1,000 students to the School of Business, University of Nairobi. 1,000 for the first time. They used to have 500 or 450. Multiplied by 2. Where is the infrastructure? I mean, are we really serious? And I'm sure the minister knows that they have admitted such huge numbers of students, even to smaller universities or younger universities. And without proper financing, what kind of education are we receiving?
What was the target, Dr. Because the government released 2.5 billion?
2.7, yeah, but, you know, it was 2.73 billion.
What was, I guess, the target of?
If you add, you can do the math, 7.9 plus 2.7 is 10.6.
So you wanted this money in lump sum?
How else? When someone owes you, do you tell them, pay me half, pay me quarter? And it's a court order. It's a court order that pay this amount. So, why can't they pay?
Is there any negotiation going on?
There are no negotiations. Which negotiations? There is no negotiation. They said they are going to SRC to give us beacons by tomorrow. And once they give us beacons, I don't know if it's today or tomorrow, beacons for negotiation of the 2025-2029 CBA. But they have not given us a counter-offer. This is how it works for the public to know. Once we do our proposal, excuse me, we send it to the ministry. Then we say, this is what we want. The ministry looks at it and then also says, this is what we can afford. That forms the basis of our negotiations. They have not even given us a counter-offer. That theirs is called a counter-offer. They have not done it. How do you negotiate? I heard the minister saying that negotiation talks are going on. Which talks?
Okay. As the university lecturers and workers, you want the money paid in lump sum.
There's no other way.
There's no other way.
Yeah, there's no other way.
And if the government gave you a counter offer, which one would you accept?
You see, a counter offer is on the 2025-2029 CBA, which is supposed to be negotiated. But the 2017-2021 CBA, 7.9 billion, is supposed to have been paid many years ago. So it is a debt that they have to pay. Those are arrears accrued for during that CBA of 2017-2021. Now, anybody looking at this, what is wrong? What is going on here? Government has to respond to this. Does government lack money? 7.9 billion? When we see empowerment meetings across the country, even the CS himself attending these empowerment meetings, why can't they come and empower us? And we continue working. This empowerment is working and promoting the future of this country.
Well, there is a lot happening in the country, and based on what you hear Dr. is saying, it is going to paralyze education further, because when you hear the bargaining agreement going back to 2017, 2020?
21.
2021.
5 years, 2017, 2021.
Okay. So it means that the education system in the country is facing some teething problems, if I would say it.
To me, I think the disconnect is coming from the Minister of Education. I think the allocation or the priorities are not touching to what basic necessities of the education, especially like now universities, the lecturers and the students, accommodation maybe, and all these things, captations. And also, like last time I said, the interest, the government, the ministry could allocate money to a dead school, a school which is not existing. It has been there, and you've aired here several times. So these are the priorities. I think we have some crooked people in the Ministry of Education, just like Afia House before.
Yeah.
You know, people are talking about
Even
Afia
now,
House.
Afia House has a problem.
Yeah, people have been talking about mafia in Afia House, but they have forgotten about mafia in education, Jugo House. So these are the people who allocate money to projects or schools which are not existing. They allocate money where they have some interest. So they leave the core issue of education. That is where the disconnect comes in.
Yeah.
So far we have not had a ruthless, a strong, firm Minister of Education who can propel and champion education. When he makes the budget, a request in the budget, he makes the request including payment of the university's money that they owe the university. But now you see, they allocate money where they know very well that here, when we allocate this money, we are bound to get some harvest, a bump harvest in this budget. That is the problem we are facing in this country.
Great. Doctor, who is the custodian of the CBA? The Ministry of Education, the government of Kenya, or the minister in office?
You see, we negotiate with agencies of the Ministry of Education. Agencies means we have what we call IPCUCCF, which is inter-universities councils, because each university has a council, and the fact is that the council is the employer. But each of the universities with their councils, then the councils come together and they call themselves IPUCCF, working as an agency on behalf of the ministry.
Right.
Then we negotiate in that way with this agency on behalf of the ministry. Once we're done, the ministry takes over. But it's upon the ministry to ensure that what we have agreed upon is factored into the budget, meaning that they must work closely with the Treasury. Some of what we are talking about of these monies were even in the supplementary budget in the past, and they were not paid to us. It's the ministry that went to court protesting, and they lost the case. They did not go beyond that.
Okay.
So there is a court order. Are we saying government cannot obey the court order? It's a government. Actually, government is government. You could look at government as you know, as a one animal with mouth, legs, and all that. The ministry is actually the main one, but they have to talk together upwards.
Okay.
The president, of course, the buck stops with the president because he's the head of state and government. So he's the head of government.
Okay. A quick question. So what counter offer would make you go back to class if the government doesn't give the entire amount that you are demanding?
You see,
what's the bare minimum?
I've said, you know, we say irreducible minimum. Irreducible minimum is government to pay 7.9 billion. It's a 2017, 2021. What shall we be waiting for? For them to finish the affordable housing or what? It is actually that is irreducible minimum. Let them pay. It's not a lot of money, and actually the cost.
That is that you're having a hard stand.
Not a hard stand. This is a court order. Pay workers 7.9.
When was this court order given, Dr. Before I bring in Wafula?
It was given by the courts. I think 20. Actually, it was a series of cases.
Yes.
Some of them decided in 2020. Others more recently. And the same court, Employment Relations Court, required the government that they should pay this amount to us. So when we went, actually it came out this year, early this year. It came out early this year.
Yes.
So we are now saying, because actually they had lodged some case in appeal, Court of Appeal, which they did not follow up. And the period lapsed. And they are told, pay. Because you can't go to the Court of Appeal just to stop a process. And these are government tactics. Government has been using tactics to go to court in order to stop legitimate processes, legal processes that are going on.
Okay.
Like now, our demand is actually for that money to be paid. You have not heard, Victor, government saying there is anything wrong with the demand. Nobody has said there is anything wrong because they know there are documents to that effect. The thing is, they should pay, and they're not saying they're not paying. And we will not negotiate how much they should pay. Let them pay the full amount.
Wafula wants to say something here.
Yeah, you know, Prof, Ambassador, actually it's, he has a very good stand that the government must pay now for the lectures to go back. But I don't think, unless it is budgeted with the ministry to pay this crude amount of money, I don't think if they'll have to pay it right now.
Then we shall wait for so long. We shall be out. Actually, we shall be out for so long.
So to me, and you know, even students are planning to go for a strike because they are staying in Nairobi, in the universities. It's very expensive, and they are not having education. So that one is also another challenge. That I think somebody who is more than the minister should intervene. Somebody who is more than a minister of education should intervene, because right now I know very well there is no budget to pay this group of money totaling to 10 billion.
No, they have already paid 2.7.
2.7,
so
yes.
We're waiting for the 7.9.
7.
Yeah.
Now, do you think they can pay within this time?
How much tax do we pay?
No, you know the taxes. You cannot just take
education has to be priority. That is the argument. If they prioritize education and they love our children,
you know this
just a moment, they love our children and they want our children to get the education. We are not oblivious. Not that we're blind about our students. We are the people who stay with these students the longest. And we know that we had already started programs. I started teaching, 2 weeks teaching, and we have stopped it. Our students, we love them. Our children, imagine we have our own students in our public universities.
You know, Ambassador, I respect you.
Yeah, but
in this case, you know how the budget is done.
It's not about the budget.
It is about the budget.
Victor.
You cannot just take money from different entities.
2017 to money owed in 2017, where have they
to accrued debt of education? No. There is a budget for a Minister of Education for this financial year. And you know that, Prof.
I know
now,
that. Now,
you cannot just take money from agriculture and then divert it to education. You cannot take money from Minister of Health.
That's not what we are saying.
Meant for...
Victor, I wish you give me time. Because we are going the wrong side. We don't plan for the Ministry of Education. The Ministry of Education plans itself. This is a debt of 2017-2021. You want to tell me that we should go and tell them, now budget. They don't want to pay their debts. They should pay
now. That is what I'm saying. You are very much correct, Prof. They don't want to pay your debt. Who has that problem of not considering your debt? It is a ministry.
It's true.
It is a ministry.
Okay.
So that is why I said we need to have a strong minister who can consider all these things, backlogging all the debt and putting into the next financial
I want us to take a break.
Budget.
I want us to take a break. Dr. Ambassador, so there is no money, no classwork.
I mean, you see, this is how these things work.
I want to take a break. No money, no lectures.
No money, no payment to not the lecturers actually alone, to university workers. We're all out. If this money is not paid, will not go to class. If it is paid, today, tomorrow we're in class.
You have to reconsider. Freshers need to have.
How many months prof has missed the salary? How many months? How many months have you missed the salary?
Let's take a break.
I don't. You're asking extraneous issues.
Let's take a break. Freshers need to have the induction, and
they did. Actually, they did all the induction. We had started teaching. We had taught them 3 weeks. 3 weeks.
Right back. Stay with us.
Jeshi la Ulinzi la Kenya KDF linawatangazia zoezi la usajili wa Kenya ambao wangependa kujiunga nao kama wanajeshi. Zoezi hili litafanyika mwezi Oktoba mwaka huu. Usajili ambao utafanyika ni wa General Service Officers GSO, Cadets Regular and Graduates, Specialist Officers, General Duty Recruits, Tradesmen and Women and Defense Forces Constables. Je, una ndoto za kutumikia taifa la Kenya kama mwanajeshi? Kwa maelezo zaidi tegea KBC Radio Taifa tarehe 4 mwezi Oktoba, punde tu baada ya taarifa ya habari ya saa 1 usiku. Kadhalika, kwa maelezo zaidi ya wale ambao wangependa kujiunga na jeshi la Kenya, tembelea tovuti ya www.mod.go.ke. Kumbuka, tendo la hongo na ufisadi wa aina yoyote ni kinyume cha sheria na hakuna anayeweza kushawishi usajili wako, kwani zoezi hili ni bila malipo kwa wote ambao wangependa kujiunga na jeshi la Kenya. Ukikubali kuadaiwa, utapoteza pesa na mali yako na kuishia gorokoroni.
Greetings in the name of the Most High Jah Rastafari. My good name is Marley Moses, the positive warrior, alongside...
Yes, sir, DJ D-Rage, the baddest. Each and every Wednesday from 10 p.m. on KBC Channel 1 TV.
Tunakuletea the biggest reggae party in 254 in a yard extra. Extra niceness of reggae music.
Extra dose of entertainment.
When the thing is nice, we
have to do it twice.
Want to enjoy free-to-air digital TV with crystal clear quality? Here's how to get started with Signet. Step 1. If you have a smart TV, you're good to go. Next, connect the aerial to your TV. Now, do an auto search on your TV. Just follow the prompts on the screen. And that's it. You're now tuned in to Signet. Sit back and enjoy a wide range of free-to-air digital channels. For technical inquiries, call the Signet hotline on 0770 572 656.
Right, welcome back. Now, let's shift gears and talk about what we need to. Daktari, I'll read some of the questions later on with regards to what we just discussed. I've received 2 questions here with regards to the lecturer strike. I'll read that later on. But let's come back, gentlemen. Of course, welcome to the Cup of Coffee. This is a breakfast show, so all of us need to enjoy ours. Cheers to the show.
Do we say cheers to tea?
No. And there's no accompaniment.
There's tutakula after this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Karibu sana. Thank you. So this is what happens. Gentlemen, the 2027 election is fast approaching, and all of us have been here. Daktari, many politicians have passed through your hand, rightly so, and you're proud of that. You know what happens? Let's talk about the political undercurrents, what we are hearing, what we are seeing, who is having coffee with who met a friend where, who just shook hands with somebody there. What are some of the political undercurrents and underdealings and the secrets that the common mwananchi doesn't understand and we are about to experience?
What I would say, Victor, people are positioning themselves or politicians are positioning themselves for 2027 elections.
Yes.
And this is in order. It happens all the time. Whether with the political parties, they are now building the vehicles, they call political parties vehicles to run on. And unfortunately, politicians seem not to appreciate that political parties are essential elements of a democracy. That is not like a matatu. You board, you reach your destination, you abandon it. Because it's supposed to carry the ideologies, the values, the principles. That is where training takes place.
Yes.
That we inculcate these values, that when you govern, then you already have these values within you. Unfortunately, some people think that every election cycle, you create parties, you create new ones and all that, such that they have actually affected our democratic progress. But having said that, there's nothing wrong they're doing. Starting a political party is okay, but we should have a commitment to building parties. Of course, we have had this, that DCP has had a complaint, and other parties, there is gesturing for supremacy, as it were, because most politicians want to control their political parties and also control regions where these parties are. And that is unfortunate, because the Constitution provides an opportunity or the right to every politician, to every person in this country, to choose a party where they can, they belong to, and also to campaign across the country. One cannot say this region is mine, another region is yours, another region is yours. Balkanizing the country in that way is a dangerous road to walk. So we are seeing all these things happening because politicians, being as selfish as they are, they want to ring-fence certain areas for themselves. I would give an example.
Yeah.
Two political parties last weekend, or last week, had their NDCs, their National Delegates Conferences. That was Mother Karua's Jubilee, and Mother Karua's...
the new party is...
you know, Mother Karua's, the party headed by Mother Karua. It's not, it's not her party, but a party headed by Mother Karua. Now, on the same day, some politicians chose which one to attend, and both of them are from Mount Kenya. But you can see arrows being shot to one direction and not the other. That is you know, blaming Jubilee, for instance, that Jubilee is working with the UDA, and the other side also saying, Jubilee saying, oh, DCP is working with UDA, and nothing can be further from the truth. This is about, for me, from where I sit, it's about smearing, intended to ring-fence the region for by each of these groups. However, I think competition is important, and competition in politics is really a basic virtue. Political parties should compete.
Yeah.
And I would think that DCP is a bit scared, and too early scared, about Jubilee, perhaps hiving some of the cake or control, taking some control of the Mulima, as it were, Mount Kenya, because it is a very strong party, one could say. It's a strong party, it has been there, it was a ruling party.
Yes.
It has networks across the country.
Yes.
So he feels like this is an attack on my supremacy. And if you remember what we have seen Honorable Gachagua saying, he has been telling people that kuwa na yako hapo, kuwe na Wakamba pale, kuwe na Muluya hapo, Mukisi akue na yake, then we come and talk. That is not how our country should operate in the 21st century.
I want to bring in Wafula, but when you look at the front page of the Star, Umwami, what's on the front page of the Star? Perhaps let me just do it for the sake of... the front page of the Star also gives us some breakdown here. 24 counties, the weak link in Gachagua-Kalonzo axis, okay? And the Star has really, well, given us the numbers at stake in 2027. Mombasa leading with 641, okay? Not necessarily going through the whole figure. But when you listen to how the political undercurrents is being played out right now, there is an aspect of numbers, which is always the key factor in any political circle that we are in the country. And again, the regional balance, the regional fights, who is going to be the deputy president, who is going to be the flag bearer, and so much more. What would you say when it comes to the political undercurrents as we head towards the polls?
Victor, right now, as we see it, the government mode is in campaign.
Yes.
Already campaign mode has taken stage. And I think we will not concentrate so much on most of the development of this country, no. And we believe, like us in Luya, we say that once you show the cow the knife to slaughter it, that cow will become rowdy. And of course,
it can kill you.
It can kill you. And of course, you can see right now when Gachagua and the other team started showing fingers to the sitting president, you can see now the team of the president are working out day and night to ensure that the opposition scrambles. That is the main issue, the main agenda. How do the opposition scramble? I will take an example like us in Western. Since independence, and I'm sorry to say this here, since independence we've been used because of our number. The Mount Kenya, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta feared Western because of the Luya nation, because of numbers. Now the only thing that he could do was to make sure that he divided the Western region, divided the Kakamega region and the Bungoma region into two. And with that one, the votes is divided and you cannot have a strong candidate. Came Moi. Moi said Fuatanyai. We didn't know about Fuatanyai. So when I was doing my research, I'm an investigator by profession, I find that it was Fuatanyayo of maintaining the divide and rule of Kenyatta in Western. That was the Fuatanyayo. Victor, this is something, it's mathematical. This is mathematical. So this thing has come all over. I think the person who did not do that, Kibaki reversed the equation and dealt with the Bungoma region, the Bukusu, and the Kakamega region went with Raila. You can see that. Now the only person who has decided to bring the Western as a bloc is the President Ruto, who took a little of Western, I mean Kakamega region and Bungoma region, a little of it, I think a portion of almost a half of it. So with that one, right now people are in alignment. The government where it sits right now, and I know very well, the president knows that the mountain is almost gone. And this is a fact, Victor. Prof, this one is a fact.
Yeah.
The mountain is 80% gone.
More than that. 90.
No. I'm giving you this figure because I'm an investigator, I'm an intelligent person.
I saw the
80%.
Opinion polls.
No, leave alone the opinion. Me, I'm talking at my level. 80% is almost gone. Now, the think tank of the president must sit down and see how will we do or work out on this 80% which is gone and scramble it. Because if it remains as a block, it's a force. So coming in, the way Secretary General of Jubilee said that I can give you date, time and place. where the president made so and so. This thing is, you know, politics has no enmity. Gachagua can meet the president, can talk in camera, can talk. Uhuru, President Ruto went to Uhuru's home. You saw it, you covered it. When people were sitting here saying, thinking that the president and the former president cannot see eye to eye, he went to former president's home and took tea.
You talked about divided rule. Can that really apply right now? I'm asking that question, Dr. and two gentlemen, because last week, Jubilee had their SNDC, all right? I think that was the third one in 2-3 years. And a lot were expected. And when the former president spoke, everything just blew out of proportion, like, oh, finally he's spoken. And now we have got Gachagua, who has insistently and consistently fought for that grip of Mount Kenya. He's talked about divide and rule. What do you think he's saying? Well, I don't know how we can speak.
No, divide and rule was brought by the colonialists.
Yeah.
And it seems that people are still reading from the script of the colonialist. Why should we divide and rule? Why can't we sell?
It's beneficial.
No, sell to who? To the country? It's not beneficial to the country. But does it mean if you have something to sell, you can only sell it by invoking the name of a tribe, the name of some sectarian name or something, divide, then you'll be able to sell yours? You can sell across the country. If people reject you, they reject you. Now, divide and rule. People also make choices, but divide and rule is a bad thing. And it's propagated by all the politicians. From the local, then you would end up with a clan. The clan, you are propping people from your clan to support people from your clan. Up to the national level, it goes to tribal and all that. We must now live in a democratic society where everyone has an equal chance to the presidency, to rule this country. You cannot say you are too small to rule the country, or I have to have an alliance with the big ones in order to rule. Can't we now play the game differently? If you go to the central now, inside Mount Kenya, why should be there a problem if you have 2-3 parties in Mount Kenya? We have DP by Muturi. It's in Mount Kenya. We have UDA, also Mount Kenya. Maybe we take Kindiki with the remaining 20% or 1% or 2%. Then we have DCP, which is a new party. It doesn't have any representatives anywhere. It's a new party. Jubilee, which is an old party. What is the problem? I see no division. Let them compete internally, even when they are electing. When they are electing MPs, even if they share the MPs, but they share the common vision for the region. There is no divisions that should be there. People should accept competition and compete internally, and actually extrapolate now this competition across the country, that politics is about competition and fair competition, selling what you have. Like you mentioned when the president spoke, he talked about what Jubilee had done, how successful Jubilee had been, their failures. In fact, I think he was fair. He said our challenges when we were in government as Jubilee were this. Then he assessed the performance of the current government in relation to performance of Jubilee. It's politics. You're trying to say we are a better option. That's what he was saying. Jubilee is a better option for the country, not for the region.
And that is politics.
And that's politics. And that is how we should do our politics. And by now, branding somebody like this one is working with who, talking to another person. There's nothing wrong with people talking across the aisle. It is common politics. You can speak across. But for what reason?
Can
to keep the country going forward.
Can Wafula answer that?
My friend, Prof. Ambassador, politics is funny. The followers take it as enmity. The other side.
Unfortunately, it's not the followers who are talking. There is a theory we call elite theory, which actually says it is the elite who do control these things. The masses are just echoing what their leaders are saying. Which masses? Who among the masses will come and say,
the problem
this
here,
is Fulani is talking to the other person?
The problem here is the masses. The way you're putting it now is the masses. who control the masses? These elites.
Yeah. So the narrative is there.
So the problem, even as we say, that forming up parties in some regions, like the way he said, now DCP is scared of re-emerging of Jubilee in Central because they thought maybe they are the one who will be controlling the mountain again. Now things are turning down. It is true. And that is why I said maybe after re-emerging of Jubilee, that is when Kajagwa decided to go and see the president. Maybe, I don't know, but
it's a rumor.
That one is a rumor. That one is a rumor. But you know, I believe, I believe the secretary Jeremiah Kioni, because I've been a bit close to Jeremiah Kioni, and whatever he says, I think he speaks the truth.
And it's measured.
Yes.
Measured.
So I've never doubted Jeremiah Kioni. When Jeremiah Kioni says that they have met and I can give you place and time, I believe in him because since before I've seen him, being at least very, very straightforward on what he puts across. So in this case, Victor, give it by February next year, the mountain will be in pieces. That is
I don't believe that. Which pieces now?
What do you mean?
Because of competition among within?
I'm telling you.
Which pieces now? Tell us the name of the pieces.
Yes, I'm coming there. You know, this is my film. Prof, let me tell you. You saw the way the part leader of DCP said that one of us here
is a traitor.
If he moves out of us, he's a traitor. And he said that we have so many other wheelbarrows coming in, we branded with the different colors. When actually knowing that Jubilee is one of them. Now they are one of the opposition team.
Yeah, it's part of them.
Yes, it's part of them. It's part of the opposition team.
Yeah.
Now you can see right now Rigiji is trying to kick out Jubilee.
If I may
so that he does not have that competition in the mountain, in the mountain and inside. And when he sit down and he sees that the former minister Matiang'i is coming with a lot of power and also another base, putting in mind the Kisii region and the followers of the former president. Who are from the mountain, he will be destabilized. Now that one is a fear already. And that is the beginning of cracking. I'm telling you.
Let me say this.
Okay.
Cracking or no cracking, I agree on the issue of competition and how it threatens those. You know, if you are threatened, I would think then you are the weaker one. Because the strong teams, when they go to play, they go with some bravado that will conquer anyway, although the game might change the other way around.
Yes.
Now, when you say someone who has
just like Newcastle and Arsenal, you know, Newcastle.
Let's not talk about Arsenal and Newcastle.
No, let us not leave it go.
Politics is not football. Now, you see, what I wanted to say is this.
Yes.
When you say one of us has left, and that's how I brought the parallel that Mother Karua is having NDC here, the NDC or SNDC, and Jubilee has 1 year. Who has left who? Who has left who? Nobody has left.
Okay.
People are repositioning their parties, building their parties in preparation for the elections 2027.
So let's do this, gentlemen, because we are seeing running out of time. But then, still on the same note. So now, after the SNDC of Jubilee last week, and now we have got, has the reemergence of Jubilee Party ignited a debate politically? You said that come February 2026, there will be so many pieces in the mountain.
Yes.
Well, nationally speaking, what are we likely to see?
I thought it was my chance because he
yeah, you can answer that because exactly, you're right. Go ahead.
I can respond.
What are we likely to see?
I don't see pieces. If it's increased competition within regions and across the country, as a political scientist, I don't see factionalism and all that. And again, Kenya has learned its lessons in the past. During the 1990s, President Moi, we're using the old constitution, used to win even with 36% of the vote. Opposition share 64, one gets 20, another one 5, another one, and they lose the election. But our new dispensation, constitutional dispensation, is 50 plus 1. It's 50 plus 1.
50 plus
So the balkanization of the country will not give anybody an advantage. Secondly, you look at Jubilee and DCP, or let me say the entire opposition. The entire opposition, for them to win, to have an opposition candidate winning, they must field a single candidate. And they keep saying that.
From which region?
From wherever. From wherever in the country.
And they must see that happening, Prof? You know,
I'm an optimist. Personally, I'm an optimist. Hold on a second. Let me finish my thought. I am an optimist. If they don't do that...
A candidate or a running mate?
No, a candidate. I'm saying opposition must have one candidate.
Okay.
If there are many candidates...
And the running mate?
They have a problem.
And what if the dice changed?
About what?
Running mate.
No, running mates, they rebalance their politics inside their parties, inside their coalition, and sharing of positions as they usually do, and which is not palatable for this country. The way they do it is not on the basis of tribe. It should be on the basis of qualifications, professionalism, you know, not just tribe. So at that point, they need to be together. If there is anybody then who is likely to split the opposition is the person who starts now, 2 years to elections, starts pointing fingers at a political party that a certain political party is working with, so and so, so and so, instead of solidifying. This is the time to build cohesion among opposition. This is the time also the incumbent president also to build his base. We expect this war to continue over and over, to demolish each other, but the spirit that has been built in Kenya over a period of time to coalesce, to have one single candidate or reduce the number of candidates, to give the country an option of comparison, easy comparison. You know, when you have too many, there is no easy of comparison.
Yeah.
So then we can make a choice, Kenyans can make a choice of the best candidate to lead the country.
Ambassador, I just want to give an example. One example that I've seen before, like in Cherangani constituency. Cherangani constituency, since Masinde Muliro, not Masinde, Masinde Muliro left the seat. The politics in Cherangani has been quite elusive, and with a lot of quagmires. And that sometimes you can see the majority of in Kenya we vote by communities, Prof, and that one we must take into account. We are not like Tanzania. In Cherangani, the Luyas are many. Now for the other tribe to win, we've been experiencing that they fund another candidate
from
and
another
side. Yes, and another candidate.
To divide the vote.
Now, when they found somebody comes and support you, wewe unatosha bwana. You'll win this seat. I'm ready to sponsor you. I'm putting 2 million, go for it. I'll give you even vehicles. The guy dreamed, and then he decided to go for the seat. The other candidate also. Now they become 3 candidates from one community. And at the other side, they'll bring also 1 strong candidate and 2 pony.
Weak.
Pony candidates. You understand?
Decoys.
Decoys.
Yeah.
Who will, even they go to when you go to a counting of votes, you'll not get even his own vote.
It's not
there. Yes.
Amepata zero.
Amepata zero. Now, these are the games that have been going on in politics. I presume that it is not going to be in the next general election, on the presidential election. I think, Victor, you're getting me right.
I am.
Yes, I think you are getting...
Because but our constitutional key was that.
No, let me tell you.
Because parliamentary is a simple majority.
No, I'm not talking about parliamentary. I'm talking on now the level of presidential seat.
Okay, it's not. That's what I'm saying. Presidential is 50 plus 1.
Yes.
So it's not simple majority.
Now I'm coming to your point, Ambassador. In this case, when you say that if, as opposition, I'm presuming that you are not in the opposition, but you said that as we opposition.
No, I have not said that.
Okay.
I have not said you.
I withdraw.
It is in your mind.
I withdraw.
Where
but I say,
I am a professional. Yes, and I stand there.
I say, if they think of going to file one candidate as opposition, this arithmetic will come in, and Victor, take it into account. This arithmetic will come in. Another function will come in from within the opposition, who will disagree with the way of selecting their candidate.
Their candidate.
Yes.
An opposition within the opposition.
Yes, okay. And they will be funded.
We know.
No, just let me finish.
This is known because this is a known script. It's a known script.
Okay.
What I would say, Victor, let us not take our country like the elite are going to decide on what is going to prevail, who is going to become leader.
Yes.
Kenya has so many problems. We have talked about education financing. We have talked about health system. Procurement, you made a comment. I wanted to make a comment on the procurement. Procurement system is made, I don't know where it's cooked.
Tukimaliza.
Then it's thrown to us. It doesn't work. You know, universities cannot procure anything. Right now, even medicine, our clinics are without medicine. We have to buy our own medicine. That because the procurement system doesn't work. Why should we be subject to this in the 21st century? Government cannot subject people to this.
What are we looking at? 10 seconds? Moving forward, 2027?
2027, the scorecard will be on performance.
Thank you.
And also on who is the most qualified. The integrity issues, let us go to Article 6 of our Constitution.
Thank you.
Chapter 6 of our Constitution, and ensure that the leaders that we have, because we have seen corruption is all over the place. Robbery is going on across within the public coffers.
Thank you. Yeah. He's talked about Chapter 6, Omwami. Moving forward.
And looking forward, I see some formations coming in and others breaking, and the alignment of 2027.
Thank you.
But what I know, if the president is thinking of a re-election,
yes,
and I'll go with this newspaper about the big scramble as Western and the Nyanza just for DP job.
DP, they're running.
This is where the game changer will be for the president.
So it requires a lot of arithmetics.
Yes.
It has always been a very big determinant. Who is the running mate of a presidential candidate, or even governor?
That's what it determines the win. Which tribe becomes vice president?
In Kenya, we are still there, Prof. In Kenya, we are still there.
Dr. Richard Busire, who is the chair of WASU, he said that they're not going to class until they get their money. Doctor, you need to reconsider your position. Thank you so much.
We love our children.
But go to class.
Government love them too.
Ofula Mutacho. Asante sana Mwami.
Thank you very much.
It was coffee, it was not milk tea.
It was coffee. In Luyaland, we don't take coffee, we take milk and tea.
But nevertheless, memaliza kikombe. Hello.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Let's take a break. When we come back, we are crossing over to Radio Taifa Zinga. Dora Manyu will be handling the issue of e-procurement. I'm Victor Lo. Have a good morning. Enjoy your coffee.
Sana mwenzangu Rashid Mwamkondo upande wa Radio Taifa, sawa na Victor Odo kutoka KBC Channel 1. Kwako mtazamaji na msikilizaji, karibu tena zaidi Jumanne nyingine ambayo tunazungumzia masuala ambayo yana umuhimu. Hii leo tuongee siasa. Tutakuwa tunaangazia masuala ya e-procurement, ukipenda masuala ya uagizaji wa bidhaa kupitia njia ya mtandao wa kielektroniki, na hapa studioni na wageni ambao watakuwa wanatusaidia kuelewa. Yamekuwepo maswali, basi mfumo huu labda ni kitu gani? Unafanya kazi kwa namna gani? Kwa hivyo kama una maswali kuhusiana na swala zima la e-procurement, una nafasi basi ya kuyaweka pale kupitia mitandao yetu ya Facebook KBC Radio Taifa Sauti ya Mkenya, sawa na KBC Channel 1, na kupitia mtandao wa X ni @doramanya, @Radio Taifa FM, @KBC Channel 1, au pia @Mwamkondo. Tumia hashtag ya Zinga na itakuwa sawa kabisa. Na mtazamaji na msikilizaji, ili kufanikisha ruwaza ya mwaka 2030 na kuhakikisha huduma bora kwa wananchi, serikali ilipendekeza kuanzisha mfumo wa ununuzi wa umma kwa njia ya kidijitali, ukipenda e-government procurement. Mfumo huu unalenga kuimarisha uwazi, ufanisi na ushirikishwaji katika mchakato mzima wa ununuzi. Unabadilisha vile vile mfumo wa zamani kwa kutumia jukwaa la kidijitali linalosimamia hatua zote kutoka kwa zabuni hadi usimamizi wa kandarasi. Na msikilizaji, vile vile mtazamaji, EGP unasimamiwa kwa mujibu wa sheria ya ununuzi wa umma na uagizaji wa mali ya mwaka 2015 chini ya usimamizi wa hazina ya kitaifa na mamlaka ya ununuzi wa umma, ukipenda PPRA. Na tayari baadhi ya wizara, idara za serikali sawa na kaunti zimejiunga na mfumo huu. Na pia mfumo huu wa EGP unasaidia mpango unaolenga kuhakikisha usawa kwa vijana, wanawake na watu walio na ulemavu, sawa na biashara ndogo ndogo. Na leo kujadili swala hili na wageni studioni ambao watanisaidia kuchanganua, na iwapo na maswali basi utaruhusiwa kufanya vile. Kwanza kabisa ni mkurugenzi wa ununuzi wa umma Bwana Eric Korir. Karibu sana katika studio zetu.
Asante sana Dora.
Sawa, vile vile karibu sana Bwana Lawrence Kanyinyi, naye ni manager wa miradi ya e-procurement. Karibu sana Bwana Lawrence.
Asante sana.
Asanteni kufika katika studio zetu, na unaweza kusongea mikrofoni yako kidogo ili tukaweze kuelewana vizuri. Nianze na wewe mkurugenzi, katika masuala haya ya ununuzi wa umma kupenda e-procurement. Mtazamaji, msikilizaji anafuatilia kupata kujua hili swala tumeligusia kwa sana, e-procurement. Je, wakati tunazungumzia haya, labda tusaidie kuelewa ni swala lipi haswa hili na linafanya kazi kwa namna gani?
Asante sana Dora. E-procurement ni ile hali ya kutumia mtandao ama internet kununua bidhaa za serikali. Hivi tunavyozungumza sasa, kwa miaka mingi zilizopita, hapo mbeleni tumekuwa tukinunua bidhaa za serikali kupitia manual processes. Lazima ujaze hiyo tender document, lazima ulete kwenye hiyo ofisi wenyewe wanaagiza. Lakini hivi sasa katika hii reform ya e-procurement, kila kitu unaweza kufanya katika kutumia mtandao. Ukiwa na simu unaweza maliza kujaza hiyo sabuni na kufanya submission. So katika hiyo hali basi tunaweka kando zile mambo ya kutumia makaratasi mingi, kutembea, kuenda witness tender opening na mambo kama haya. Hivi sasa tukishaenda katika hii mtandao wa e-procurement, mahali ulipo unaweza fuatilia kwa makini vile sabuni fulani unaposhughulikiwa na serikali.
Shukrani kwa utangulizi, na nije kwako Bwana Lawrence kutusaidia pia kuendeleza kutoka pale. Umuhimu haswa wa kuhamisha shughuli nzima hii kutoka katika mambo ya ile tutasema manual, mambo ya kawaida, makaratasi, kwenda katika mfumo wa dijitali ni gani?
I think huu mfumo uko na advantage mingi sana. Ya kwanza tunaona lazima tuna increase competition kwa watu wanafanya biashara, wale watu wanauzia serikali bidhaa. Kuna pia hii maneno ya kuensure kuna transparency, so watakuwa wanaweza wauzaji wa bidhaa kwa serikali watakuwa wanapata information katika kwa mtandao. Pia kuna hizi makaratasi, kuna makaratasi mingi inatumika katika hii procurement. Hii yote sasa tutakuwa tumeiweka kwa digitali, na pia tukisema mambo ya storage of this, hatutakuwa na mambo ya kuweka storage ya makaratasi, so iko na benefit mingi sana ukitumia hii mfumo wa electronic. Asante.
Naam. Kwa hivyo kwa ufupi ni kwamba kila kitu kitakuwa kinafanyika kwa njia ya kielektroniki ama mtandao.
Kila kitu itakuwa inafanyika kwa hii mtandao. Tunaangalia procurement process yote, tukianzia ku register suppliers, kwenda ku announce hizi tender opportunities zote zile ziko bado zote kwa mtandao, alafu suppliers wanaingia kwa mtandao, wanajibu hizi tenders, wanazisubmit pia kwa mtandao, so hakutakuwa na makaratasi yoyote, na information yote itakuwa inaonekana kwa mtandao, so hii iko na advantage mingi sana tukiitumia.
Yes. Kwa sababu wewe ndo manager katika hii masuala ya procurement, kabla nirudi kwake Bwana Korir, kwa hivyo unasema kwa yule yote ambaye anataka ile zabuni ama tunasema tenda zote mtakuwa mnaziweka katika njia ya mtandao, anaziangalia pale na shughuli nzima inafanyika kule.
Tenda zote zitakuwa zinaonekana kwa hiyo mtandao. Ukiangalia zote zile kampuni za serikali zote zinataka zinataka kununua bidhaa, zote zitakuwa automatically zinaingia kwa huyu mtandao, alafu kila mtu pale pote yako Kenya ataweza kuwa anapata hii information, na alafu kama ako na interest aweza endelea na kujibu hizi tenders.
Naam.
Asante sana.
Shukran Bwana Lawrence. Nije kwako Bwana Korir, na tusaidie kuelewa tofauti kubwa ambayo itakuwepo katika mfumo huu sasa wa mtandao wa kidijitali na ule mfumo ambao watu walikuwa wamezoea. Tofauti kubwa hasa itakuwa ni, manake wanasema Waswahili mazoea na tabu. Mtu anakuambia mimi nimezoea hii.
Asante sana Dora. Kwanza ni kusema kwamba mwenzangu amesema haya mambo yatakuwa yakionekana. Tayari inaonekana. Hivi leo ukienda katika portal ya EGP, unaona zile kampuni za serikali ambayo wamechapisha tender. This information haikuwa ipatikane hapo zamani. Kwa hivyo ukienda hata hivi sasa utaona ile makampuni ya serikali ambayo tayari wametangaza sabuni aina mbalimbali. Nikielekea swali lako la pili, ni kwamba tofauti ni kubwa, ni kama giza na mchana. Is that the right way?
Kabisa.
Haya. Vile mwenzangu amesema, kuchapishwa kutangaza kwa sabuni itakuwa online. Hivi sasa mpaka uende kwenye gazeti ya Tuesday ndio unaona sabuni gani iko katika various ministries na departments ya serikali. Leo utaenda kwa mtandao, utaenda kwenye hiyo portal ya EGP, utaona hii kampuni inahitaji ABCD. Basi kama uko na interest kwa hiyo unaweza kufuatilia. Tofauti na vile ilivyo zamani ni kwamba zamani katika sabuni zingine inapaswa utengeneze documents karibu reams 2 au 3 ya documents. Katika hii mtandao unaketi kwenye deski yako tu, unajaza online, hakuna karatasi hata moja utapeleka huko. Katika kujaza, ukimaliza kujaza, siku ile imetengwa ifunguliwe, utaifuatilia kwa mtandao. Haita kuhitaji uende kwenye hizo ofisi za serikali uende uanze kushuhudia kufunguliwa kwa hiyo tenda. Additionally, these opportunities, hizi nafasi sasa itapatikana, watu wengi wataparticipate kwa sababu this information iko available. Kwa hivyo unatarajia watu wengi sana kuparticipate kwenye hiyo competition ya hiyo tenda. And with a wider participation, watu wengi participate, obviously bei ya yale vitu ambavyo vilikuwa natajikana itashuka chini. So we're going to get value for money. Those are the key issues around e-procurement. Lakini zaidi kushinda haya yote, hapo mbeleni ukipeana sabuni kwa department yote ya serikali, baadhi ya mahitaji unatakikana kupeana ni, kwa mfano, uonyeshe, uthibitishe kwamba wewe you are tax compliant. I don't know how do you say that. Tax compliant.
Unalipa ushuru.
Kwa sababu sheria inakuhitaji kwa ndio ufanye biashara na serikali, hata wewe lazima ukwe mtu mwenye unalipa ushuru vile inatakikana. Hivi sasa kwenye EGP hautahitajika kwenda kwenye ofisi za KRA kuonyesha kuthibitisha kuwa wewe unalipa ushuru. Ile unatakikana kufanya ni put in your KRA PIN number. Ukishaweka PIN number yako ya KRA, because we are integrated with the KRA system, itakuonyesha, na kama if you are not tax compliant, kama ulipi ushuru, hautaendelea hata kujaza hiyo document. Your business is over. Lakini kama unalipa ushuru, mambo yako yote ya ushuru iko sawa, unaendelea kujaza. So that integration, not only with KRA, but with other institutions kama National Construction Authority. Kwa mfano, kama unatafuta contractor mwenye yako category fulani, with that, ukishaingiza namba yako, that evidence is already profiled. That those fields are already inajazwa. Kwa mfano, biashara ile serikali, ile sheria ya procurement imetenga kwa kina mama, vijana na people with disability. Punde tu unapoingiza nambari yako, because of the integration, itathibitisha kwamba you qualify to be under that group of persons with the affirmative group of women, youth and persons with disability. So that
kuna changamoto mingi, specifically tukiangalia tuone hii ni mfumo mpya, hawajazoea kutumia hii mfumo, so kuna challenge kidogo hapa za utumizi. So hiyo sasa ndio tunasaidia, tumefunza ofisa wale wanaenda huko kwa hizo makampuni, wanawasaidia kutumia na kuelewa mfumo kabisa. Tunaona tukifika mwaka ujao, bado sasa watakuwa wameelewa kutumia hii mfumo, na itakuwa easier sana kwetu hata kuwafanya sasa watumie mfumo kabisa.
Naam, baadaye tutakuja labda kuzungumzia zaidi kama zipo changamoto na ni vipi wale ambao wanapata hizo changamoto wanaweza wakasaidiwa. Na nije kwako mkurugenzi, labda kama unaweza kutaja tu baadhi ya mashirika, labda wizara na hata kaunti ambazo tayari zinatumia mfumo huu. Manake wapo binadamu, yule mtu anataka kuona na macho na kusikia, anataka testimony ama ushuhuda wa vile mambo yanafanyika. Labda kama unaweza tupatia tu orodha ya baadhi ya wizara na hata labda mashirika na kaunti ambazo tayari mfumo huu unafanya kazi kwao.
Asante sana Dora. Kwa sasa tuko na zaidi ya wizara mbalimbali za serikali karibu 150 ambazo wanatumia huu mtandao. Kwa mfano, kufikia sasa zile departments za serikali ambazo zimeanza kuchapisha tenda zao katika mtandao huu ya EGP ni 36. Hawa ndio wale ambao tayari wametangaza nafasi ya sabuni katika mtandao wa EGP. Lakini wote wako katika wamejiregister katika EGP. That is for government departments. Kwa upande wa county governments and county executives tuko na 44 ambao tayari wameanza kutangaza opportunities katika EGP. State corporations, parastatals karibu 47. Na hii namba inaongezeka hata tukimaliza sasa hii utapata kama imeongezeka. Kwa hivyo shirika mbalimbali za serikali tayari inaingia, wanatangaza sabuni zao katika hii mtandao na inaendelea.
Kwa hivyo ni kitu ambacho kinafanyika usiku na mchana, inaendelea kila wakati, continuous process.
It is a continuous process. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kwa hivyo kwa yeyote ambaye angependa kupata zabuni, iwe ya county, iwe ya serikali kuu, labda kidogo hapo pia unafaa kutuweka wazi, serikali kuu, serikali za county, zabuni zote zitakuwa katika mfumo huu, ama tunazungumzia tu zile huduma za serikali kuu?
Hivi sasa hata ukienda katika portal ya EGP utaangalia tu mahali imeandikwa tender opportunities. You just click there and you'll see utaona zile nafasi zote zinapatikana kwa hivi sasa. Zingine labda imefunga jana, nyingine inafunguliwa next week. Kwa hivyo mahali kuna nafasi unajaweza jaribu, angalie kama you meet the requirements and you submit unapeana your proposal.
Shukran. Mtazamaji na msikilizaji, iwapo unajiunga nasi kwa sasa, tunaangazia masuala ya procurement, ukipenda ununuzi na uagizaji wa bidhaa za serikali kupitia njia ya mtandao. Na kama kuna maswali uko nayo, yaweke pale katika mitandao yetu ya kijamii, kupitia mtandao wetu wa X au pia kupitia mtandao wetu wa Facebook. Alafu baadaye muda ukiruhusu pia tutapokea maswali machache ili tuweze kuelewa, kwa sababu wanasema kwamba knowledge is power. Tukijua basi inakuwa rahisi kutumia mfumo huu wa procurement. Tukisonga mbele, hebu tuangalie, kuna makundi mawili ambayo yanajitokeza hapa. Baadaye nitakuja kwako mkurugenzi uzungumzie kundi hilo, maana ulikuwa umeanza kulitaja kundi la vijana, wanawake na walio na ulemavu. Lakini nianza na Bwana Lawrence. Kuna kikundi cha wafanyabiashara ndogo ndogo. Kikundi hicho cha hawa wafanyabiashara ndogo ndogo, mfumo huu kwao wanaipata vipi? Inafaidi ya jamani? Huenda mtu akadhani tunazungumzia biashara kubwa kubwa, maana kuna mtu akisikia tenda ama zabuni anajua tu ni mamilioni na mabilioni ya pesa. Huyu mfanyabiashara, biashara ndogo ndogo, vipi mfumo huu unamkimu ama unamsaidia?
Hii mfumo inamsaidia sana, especially wafanyi biashara ndogo ndogo, kwamba hii ni moja yapo, kwanza ita reduce the cost of doing business. So itakuwa cheap sana, kwa sababu angalia, hakuna mambo ya transport, yote imemaliziwa. Ukiangalia mambo ya kununua makaratasi, ukiangalia mambo ya printing ya hizi tenders ndio zirudi. So inasaidia huyu wafanyikazi biashara dogo dogo kuhusu kwanza kile huyu mfanyi biashara ako na profile yake kwa hii mtandao. So akitaka tenda, anatafuta tu tenda moja, alafu anatumia hiyo profile. So hiyo profile anaweza itumia mara mingi sana, sio mara akijibu akijaza hizi tenders. So itakuwa imelainisha, especially mambo ya kureduce cost. Tena hii mfumo inapatikana kila wakati, hakuna mambo ya kugoja ifungwe ndio upeleke tenda yako. So hata mfanyikazi akiwa biasharani yake, akiwa nyumbani, aweza enda na ajaze hizi tenda. So hiyo sasa bado vile tulikuwa tumesema hapo mbeleni, itakuwa bado ina increase competition. Na tena pia kuna uwazi huko kwa hii system sana. So hizi choro zilikuwa zinafanyika na mambo ya manual processes, zote hizo zitakuwa zimeisha, na hizi zote zitasaidia mfanyikazi mdogo, kwa sababu ako na uwezo sasa wa kupeana profile yake vizuri. Yes, Andy.
Kwa hivyo hawafai kuwa na wasiwasi, hawafanya biashara ndogo ndogo, pia wao inawasaidia pakubwa sana, especially mambo ya kukata bei ya operational cost itakuwa imekata sana. Naam. Sawa, asante mkurugenzi. Sijui kama kuna kitu ulitaka kuongeza hapo, alafu tuangazie kundi hili la vijana. Najua serikali iko mbioni kuhakikisha kwamba vijana wana nafasi ya kufanya biashara pia na kufaidi katika njia mbalimbali pia kupitia hizi zabuni. Wapo vijana, wapo wanawake, wapo walio na ulemavu. Na sijui kwa nini haya makundi mkaweka pamoja. Najua kikatiba pia kuna mahali wanawekwa kwa pamoja.
Thank you. Asante sana Dora. Vile ulivyosema kwamba kote duniani serikali ndio mnunuzi kubwa zaidi, the biggest buyer, because iko na budget kubwa sana. Na serikali kote duniani wanatumia hiyo nguvu kusaidia kudhibiti ile inequalities in the society. Vile vile katika sheria yetu ya public procurement, sheria imeitenga 30% ya budget yote ya procurement iende kwa kundi hii ya kina mama, vijana na walio na ulemavu. Hata mbele ya hii sheria kuwa bado kumekuwa na shida kwamba departments nyingi za serikali, wizara na county governments haijatekeleza vile sheria inavyotaka, kwa sababu wanasema hii tumeitengea vijana ama watu wenye the affirmative group, lakini ukichunguza zaidi utapata kwamba labda hii nafasi haijapatiwa wale ambao sheria ilikuwa inataka. Hii mfumo wa procurement imehakikisha kwamba iwapo unatengeneza procurement plan yako, lazima utenge 30%. Kama hujatenga hiyo 30%, hautaendelea, you will not be able to navigate the system. So you have to set aside 30%. Ukishaweka hiyo 30%, ile sasa sabuni umesema hii itakuwa ya vijana ama hii itakuwa ya kina mama. Wakati unapoitangaza hiyo sabuni, wale watu wenye qualify, because to qualify to participate in this program, you also have to be registered by National Treasury. There is an integration. Kuna ile integration imefanywa na EGP na National Treasury e-procurement department. You lazima uwe na thibitisho kwamba you are the registered beneficiary of this program. Kwa hivyo hii itachunguzwa zaidi. Hii system itachunguza zaidi kuhakikisha kwamba wale wanaopigania nafasi katika hii group ya affirmative lazima uwe umeregistiwa, you have been registered, and the right beneficiaries are the people who have been targeted.
Naam, shukrani sana. Kuna jambo labda unataka kuongeza hapo? Kwa sawa
kabisa.
Project manager. Sasa tuangazie masuala ya elimu kwa umma na labda waagizaji bidhaa na mambo kama hayo. Katika mfumo huu wa EGP, labda mnafanyaje kuhakikisha kwamba wale ambao wanataka kushiriki kununua bidhaa ama kufanya uagizaji wana elimu ya kutosha? Maana hapo pia kuna kuwa na tatizo kutoelewa labda vile mfumo unafanya kazi. Je, kuna mikakati ambayo mmeweka, huwa mnahamasisha umma na wahusika kuhakikisha kwamba wanaelewa mfumo huu?
Kwa kufunza wanabiashara, kufunza wafanyikazi wa serikali, tumewafunza sana. Kwanza kabisa tumetengeneza video zile tumeweka kwa mtandao, zile waweza tumia kama ni mambo ya kuregister. Kuna vile tunaonyesha vizuri pole kuhusu hizi video, kama ni submit tenders, bado kuna hizo video zimekuwa. Lakini in addition, kuna zingine sasa kama webinars. Hizi tunafanya webinars kama suppliers every Thursday. Kila Thursday wafunza na kuna wa supplier wengi sana wanakuja. Tunafunza karibu giri moja, giri mbili in a day, na kuendelea. Bado tunataka kuongeza hizo training zikuwe almost every day, kwa sababu sasa tunaona wafanya biashara wamekuja na wataka kuwa registered, wameona tender already sasa ziko. Kuna wengine walichelewa kidogo wakati tulianza hizi masomo, lakini sasa wanataka kujoin haraka sana. So kuna sasa hii tutaendelea sasa kuwafunza ndio waelewe kutumia vile tulikuwa tumesema hapo mbeleni. Hii ni mfumo mpya, hawajaelewa, na it's different from the old ways of doing business. So so tumewafunza sana. Ukiangalia saidi ya wafanyikazi wa biashara wa serikali, tumefunza vile nilikuwa nimesema. Tumefunza state department, tumefunza county government, all of them we have trained them, state corporations tumewafunza wengi sana. Na bado pia hizi video bado ziko, kuna user manual ziko kwa hii mfumo, wana download tu alafu waweza tu kujifunza wakati wako na muda. So hiyo mikakati ya kuwafunza iko, na tutaendelea, especially sasa kwa saidi ya supplier, ndio at least waweze kusubmit hizi tenda zao.
Kwa hivyo mna mafunzo mengi pia katika njia ya mtandao, manake kama tunaenda kwa mtandao na maisha pia watu wanafaa kujifunza mambo pia kupitia njia ya mtandao.
Inabidi waingie kwa mtandao, sababu tena ukiangalia suppliers ni wengi sana. Hatuwezi sema ati tutawaita pahali pamoja tuanze kuwafunza. itakuwa imekula pesa mingi sana, na pia itakuwa mipangilio hiyo itakuwa pia mingi sana. So tunatumia hizi mtandao pia kwa make sure pia tumewafunza.
Asante sana.
Labda kwa haya maswali ya mafunzo vile vile ni kwamba kusema tumeshirikiana na Kenya School of Government ambayo iko na campuses across the country, hasa kufunza wale maofisa wa serikali, the PFM officers. Mafunzo haya sana huenda karibu wiki 2 ndio watoke huko kama wamehitimu vizuri. Na haya mafunzo yalianza kutoka mwezi wa 3 mwaka huu, na mpaka sasa tumewafunza karibu zaidi ya wafanyikazi ya serikali 15,000 wote wa both national and county government. Yes. Yeah, thank you.
Kabla tusikie mwananchi anasemaje, zipo tetesi, zipo dhana kwamba mfumo huu wa e-procurement unanuia kuwafungia nje baadhi ya wafanyabiashara, na sana wale wafanyabiashara wadogo ili kuwafaidi wale ambao wana uwezo wa kufikia zabuni za mamilioni na mabilioni ya pesa. Sijui mnaweza kuzungumzia vipi swala hilo? Nianze na wewe mkurugenzi. Dhana hii, tetezi hizi, ama upo ukweli?
Sioni kama kuna ukweli hapo. Haya ni porojo tu inapigwa hapo nje, kwa sababu hii mtandao, hii nafasi ya digitali, e-procurement inapatia nafasi hata wale hawana maofisi, wanaketi tu wakitumia kompyuta yao, wakienda huduma centers ama digital hubs across the country, wanaweza kuangalia ile nafasi ile iko. Kwa hivyo vile navyoona mimi, hii reform imepatia hawa watu wadogo nafasi zaidi kuliko hapo mbeleni.
Manager
asante. Tumesema hii information yote iko kwa mtandao. So kama wewe ni unatafuta hizi zabuni za serikali, uko na hiyo information. Mambo ya kujaza hizi tenda bado umepewa. So hakuna vile tunasema sasa wewe umetengwa na tunapatia watu wale wako na pesa mingi. So hii information yote iko, na ukifungua tu huyo mtandao utaona hizi opportunities zile ziko, utaona imetoka wapi. So wafanya biashara ni wateki initiative, waanze pia kujaza hizi tenda, kwa sababu ziko na hakuna mtu ameambiwa ati hatafanya.
Naam. Kwa hivyo ni dhana tu, lakini mnasema mfumo huu unaleta usawa kwa kila mmoja ambaye anataka kununua na kuagiza bidhaa katika njia ya mtandao.
Iko na uwazi, kwa sababu pia hata tukimaliza tuseme umeona sasa tumeanza ku advertise tenders. Hata wakati contract imepeanwa, now you participated in that contract, utaiona bado iko kwa mtandao. Utaklik uone hizi zabuni zote zimepeanwa, unaziona, unaona bei yako ilikuwa aje, ndio next time bado itakusaidia ujue vile utafanya ile kuti yako ndio ikuwe successful.
Naam. Najua hapo awali pia tukizungumza niliuliza kama wapo watu ambao wamepata changamoto katika mfumo huu na wakaja kwenu ama kuwapigia simu kutafuta msaada, na ukalijibu hilo. Hebu sasa tuangazie labda ninyi sasa ambao mnashughulikia mfumo huu, hadi kufikia sasa mnaweza kusema changamoto zimekuwa ni zipi katika kuhakikisha kwamba shughuli hii, najua mnatamani kwamba kwa 100% tuweze kufikia yale malengo kama ya Ruwaza mwaka 2030 tulivyotaja hapo awali. Changamoto kufikia sasa katika shughuli nzima ya kuhakikisha kwamba tunaenda katika mfumo huu labda zimekuwa ni zipi?
Vile project manager amesema hapo mbele, every other system wakati unafanya rollout lazima kuwe na changamoto fulani. Na vile tulivyoanza hii tulikuwa najua hii ni one of the key areas to really watch. So tuko na ile what we call help desk katika barabara ya Ngong Road, where wote wenye wako na shida katika kunavigate system wanaweza kupiga simu, wanaweza kutembelea huko. They can be reached in so many platforms, both social media platforms na even physical visits. Changamoto kubwa katika wenye wanatumia wanahitaji wamalize wa navigate system mara moja. Tumewatenga vijana kwenda maofisa wetu kwenda huko kuwasaidia navigate the system so that they can get immediate support. Yeah, so those challenges are there, but we are overcoming them day by day. Yeah, and obviously kufika mwaka ujao ama miaka in the near future, everybody will be on top of it. Yeah.
Shukran. Unataka kuongeza jambo?
Ingine changamoto moja tumepata ni kwa director alimention na akasema kuna integration mingi sana kwa hii system. So inabidi tunategemea hizi other government entity zile ziko na hizi system. So hizi system tuseme kama zimekuwa down kidogo, unaona hiyo sio party yetu, lakini sasa inabidi kwa sababu hiyo process tunataka ikue laini vizuri sana. So unaona sometimes maybe service imekuwa down kidogo, so hapo hivyo sometimes inapata challenge kidogo.
Kwa hivyo ni jambo la kawaida kwamba kuna wakati wataenda wapate system iko chini.
Sio tenda mostly hapo hivyo katika registration. Registration ndio bado tumeintegrate na hizi systems zingine za serikali. So sometimes hapo kuna kuagana kanini, but as the director has mentioned, we are always in contact with the na hizi system za serikali na wanatusaidia.
Yeah. Shukran. Naomba tupokee simu chache. Mwelekezo wangu
kuna mmoja hapa anauliza, anaitwa Isaac Kirara. Je, kujisajili kwa e-Citizen inalipwa au ni bure? Na je, zina huduma ngapi za serikali? Nafuatilia kipindi nikiwa Elgeyo Marakwet. Hello Radio Taifa. Hello Radio Taifa. Yes. Hello. Tunakupata. Haya, mwenzetu huyu haja wa tayari, lakini kwa wewe ambao uko tayari msikilizaji, 0700176699 mpenzi msikilizaji, mahali popote ulipo, una swali lolote kuhusiana na mfumo huu wa matumizi ama malipo kupitia mitandao ya kijamii, kupitia mtandao na vile pia platform ya digital, mpenzi msikilizaji. Hello Zinga Gumzo Pevu. Hello. Yes.
Hello.
Tunakusikia, uliza swali lako ndugu yangu.
Ni Geoffrey kutoka Kakamega.
Karibu Geoffrey, uliza swali lako ndugu yangu.
Asante. Nauliza swali langu ni mimi nilifanya kazi na mwaka jana mwezi wa 9 na serikali. Unanipata?
Naam. Na
nikalipwa nusu ya hizo pesa. Sasa pesa zilibakia mahali nilikuwa nafanya hiyo kazi. Hatukuelewana na landlord, nikatoka katika hiyo biashara. Sasa mimi nina nadai nusu ya hizo pesa. Pia itabidi mtu uende procurement kama nilifanya kazi mwaka mmoja umeisha.
Asante kwa swali lako. Vile pia wewe msikilizaji bado fursa unayo, unaweza kuuliza swali 0700176699. Hello Gumzo Pevu. Hello. Mzuri sana. Karibu sana.
Nafuatilia kabisa.
Swali lako. Swali lako?
Asina swali.
Kazi ipo. Hello Zinga. Hello Zinga.
Hello.
Yes.
Zinga, sema habari leo.
Mzuri sana.
Mimi nafuatilia kutoka Kilifi.
Naam, waitwa nani?
Naitwa Bidii.
Swali lako?
Tulifanya registration. lakini sasa ile tenders hatuzioni kabisa. Jaribu kutafuta tenders ziko wapi, hatuzioni. Vipi hiyo nayo itafanywaje?
Haya, Dora, sijui upande wa kwako tenda waziona?
Wataniambia wakurugenzi hapa. Tutaanza na hilo swali. Asante sana Rashid kutoka upande wa pili wa Radio Taifa. Tuanze na swali hili la mwisho. Ni sawa, mnaweza kuzitoa tu kama mko sawa kuzitumia. Swali hili la mwisho nasema kwamba alifanya registration lakini hawaoni tenda. Changamoto inaweza kuwa iko wapi? Sijui nani wa kulijibu swali hilo. Acha nianze na project manager.
Tenda ziko, tunamwelezea aende kwa www.egpkenya.go.ke, ataona tenders. Kuna tenda zimechapishwa za county, kuna tenda zimechapishwa za kampuni za serikali. So tenda ziko kama jana tulikuwa na tenda 38, kuna zingine kama 15 zilikuwa zime cross. So I think tenda ziko na zitaendelea kuwa. Tunaona pengine by end of week tutakuwa zimefika karibu 100 na so aende kwa www.egpkenya.go.ke, click on tenders, tender opportunities zote ziko hapo. Ziko.
Labda refresh kidogo tu kama hakuwa ameona.
Refresh
itakuwa sawa. Mkurugenzi, unataka kuongeza jambo kwa swala hilo?
No, sina lolote la kuongeza, lakini kulikuwa na swali kuhusu registration.
Naam.
Ambapo huyu Mkenya ameuliza kama kuna malipo yoyote. Kuna fee yoyote. Tunataka kuhakikishia wa Kenya registration is free. Hakuna malipo yoyote unatakikana kulipa. If you want to register under the EGP, kuna tu baadhi ya documents ambapo zinahitajika. Kwa mfano kama ni kampuni, limited company, you have to give us a registration certificate kutoka Business Registration Services. Na mambo mengine mengi kama vile taja hapo mbeleni kuhusu tax compliance kutoka Kenya Revenue Authority. Kwa hivyo ukijaza hayo yote mambo ambayo yanahitajika, utapata registration yako na kuna malipo yote ambayo unatakikana kutoa. Vile kulikuwa na swali kuhusu
na kabla katika ile swali, labda katika manake tunafanya hamasa, labda wapo wale ambao wanataka kujaribu kwa mara ya kwanza kwanga shughuli kupata zabuni, pia kufanya biashara na serikali niweke vile, anashindwa mtu anaanza vipi? Labda tunaweza kusaidia vile anaanza kwenda pale katika mtandao, naende wapi ndio baadaye pia aweze kuhitimu kwamba anaweza kashirikishwa katika masuala ya zabuni.
Yes, kuna njia kadhaa za kujisajili. Ya kwanza ni kama individual consultant, kama umesoma katika maybe one area of speciality and you want to be a consultant. Kuna hiyo sasa waweza uingie kama individual consultant. Ile inatakikana tu ni ID number, unaenda kwa ID number, unaweka ID yako na system ina verify hiyo na hizo system zingine za serikali, and then uko already registered, unapea na una create profile yako, unakuwa kwa hiyo system. Tena kuna kampuni, na kampuni kuna kampuni category kadhaa. Kuna sole proprietor, kuna limited company, kuna partnership. Lakini hizo kama director vile amesema, hizo zinataka tu ukuwe na registration, ndio ukuwe na kampuni. Ukiwa na kampuni, system inakuitisha data set kidogo, inakuitisha BLS number, inakuitisha KRA pin na jina ya kampuni yako. Ina verify hizo na zile system za serikali, na kutoka hapo hivyo uko registered. So sasa ni kwenda una create profile, una make sure zile wafanyikazi wale uko nao unawaweka hapo, ile kampuni ile biashara umefanya previous experiences bado pia process. Na hiyo ndio ni kujisajili, sio kazi kubwa sana, ni kitu weza maliza within 30 minutes na ushauri ingia kwa nini. Lakini kama hauna kampuni, sasa inabidi uwe na individual consultant.
Okay, kwa hivyo si lazima uwe na kampuni.
Sio lazima uwe na kampuni.
Naam. Asante kwa kuweka hilo wazi.
25-26. Kwa hivyo kama alifanya kazi katika last financial year, that is 24-25, bado malipo yake yatafanywa, ila tu haitaingia katika hii mfumo wa EGP. Kuna guidelines ambayo ilitolewa na Treasury ya jinsi yale pending bills yatakavyoshughulikiwa katika wakati huu wa EGP. Kwa hivyo malipo yake atafanyiwa, atapata bora tu ametekeleza upande wake wa contract. Yes.
Kwa hivyo ina subra, maana anasema ilikuwa mwaka jana, mwaka mwingine ndio unaelekea kuisha.
Yes, I think he meant last financial year, which ended in June this year.
Ndio.
Just a few months ago.
Naam.
Yeah.
Okay. Shukran kwa kuweka wazi hilo. Nataka tuelekea kutamatisha, labda tuangazie swala hili la iwapo kwa mfano mfumo huu labda kidogo ukawa na changamoto, labda vile tulisema system ikawa chini. Wapo watu ambao kwa maeneo ambayo labda kuna matatizo bado ya interneti ama masuala ya mtandao. Tuanze na hicho kikundi, labda mnaweza kuwapa matumaini gani ambao bado wana changamoto?
Well, ni kweli kwamba kuna baadhi ya sehemu katika nchi zetu ambazo internet haijafikia. Lakini hata hivyo hata katika zile enzi za zamani ambapo kulikuwa na hii EGP, bado wakazi wa area hizo walikuwa wanafanya biashara na serikali. Najua kwamba serikali inashughulika kuhakikisha kwamba as much as possible there are internet hubs across the country, especially katika maeneo ya constituencies, maeneo ya huduma centers across the country. Kwa hivyo wenye wafanya biashara ndogo hasa wanaweza kutembelea vituo hivi vya huduma centers ambapo kuna internet available, na kama mfanya biashara mara mingi utapata kama wafanya biashara wengi wako na simu yenye iko na internet, and with your phone you are able to do business with government. You are able to log into the EGP system and transact your business.
Na manake kuna mmoja hapa ananiambia iwapo kwa mfano na changamoto ya kimtandao, ama tuseme wakati ambapo tulikuwa tumegusia swala kwamba kuna wakati kwa kawaida hata kwa mambo mengine, wakati system watu wengi wako pale, labda inaonekana kuwa na jama meko chini, anaruhusiwa kutumia the manual system?
Kama National Treasury, kazi yetu ni kuensure hii system iko available karibu all the time, na tumeweka mikakati ya kuensure system iko na watumizi wakitaka kutumia itapatikana. Tumeweka hiyo mikakati na tuna hope haitakuwa na hiyo downtime. Lakini mambo ya manual haturudi manual tena. Sasa ni kwa nini? Kwa sababu hata ukiweka kwa manual, kuna wengine wanaweka kwa digitali. So ile advice tungewaambia ni tenda ikitoka, anza kuifanya mapema, make sure umemaliza mapema, make sure umeisubmit mapema, ndio at least iwe imeishafika. Ikifika hapo kuna security ya kutosha, document yako, details zako ziko sawa, hakuna mtu ataziguza mpaka wakati ya kufunguliwa. Na hiyo tenda ikifunguliwa, immediately kuna report unatumiwa ya kuonyesha vile kampuni zime participate. Kwa hiyo tenda, information ya price, information ya bid security, yote iko, so wanapata hiyo report immediately wakinini ikifunguliwa. That is closing time ikifika, watapata report kwa nini, kwa profile yao.
Shukran. Nataka tumalizie na nianze na wewe mkurugenzi Bwana Eric Korir. Kabla nije kwako meneja, utupatie mwelekeo kwa wale labda nataka nambari za kupiga. Umesema kuna help desk, labda watapata vipi? Lakini tuanze na Bwana Korir, labda usia wako kwa wananchi, na labda kuna swala ambalo hatujagusia ambalo ungependa likaweza kufikia wananchi kuhusiana na mfumo huu wa e-procurement kwenda mbele.
Just to encourage and kuwasihi wa Kenya kwamba EGP ni reform ambayo itasaidia sana taifa letu la Kenya. Yale malilio ya Kenya sana kuhusu mambo ya transparency, accountability, jibu lake liko katika hii mtandao wa EGP. Nafasi zote ambazo za zabuni ambazo takuwa katika taifa letu litakuwa wazi. Everybody will be eligible those who are eligible to bid will have a chance. The Kenyans will be able to see, wanaweza ona sabuni hii nimekosa, nisijapata kwa sababu gani, because all that information will be available on that platform. So I think this is an opportunity. Kama vile nilivyotaja hapo mbeleni kwamba yale mataifa ambayo yametekeleza hii, hata tukikaribia hapa jirani hapa Rwanda, they have realized enormous savings and there is a lot of efficiency, transparency in their public procurement. Kwa hivyo nawasihi wa Kenya kubali tuendelee na hii system ambayo itasaidia taifa letu. Thank you.
Asante. Bwana Lawrence, wale wanataka usaidizi labda watapata wapi? Labda kuna nambari?
Asante. Wale wanataka usaidizi kuna namna kadhaa kama vile tumesema, ukienda www.egpkenya.go.ke utapata nambari ziko hapo. Tena pia kuna form iko hapo, waweza jaza form, waweza tumia pia email, na yote inaenda kwa support center yetu. Na hiyo support center hata ukitaka kutembea utatembea pale Kisim Towers, 4th floor. Hapo kuna watu wako ready kukusupport. I think vile sisi tunasihi watumiaji wa huyu mfumo ni kwamba tuko ready kuwasaidia na ku make sure wametumia mfumo vizuri, na ndio mfumo tupate hizo benefits zile tunaongelea leo. Asante.
Shukrani sana. Kwa sababu ya muda tutakomea pale, lakini umetupatia elimu ya kutosha. Sasa tunafahamu mfumo huu wa e-procurement unafanya kazi vipi. Asanteni kuweza kufika. Na mtazamaji na msikilizaji, basi studioni tumekuwa naye bwana Eric Korir, yeye ni Director Public Procurement, na vile vile tumekuwa na bwana Lawrence Kanyinyi, yeye ndo Program Manager katika masuala haya e-procurement. Niseme shukrani pia kwako wewe kuweza kutazama na kufuatilia. Asante mwelekezi wangu Mato, shukrani wapiga picha, na zaidi yote watayarishi wa kipindi hiki. Asante wa Moi Masila, Dennis Chisaka na Nancy Kemunto katika studio zote mbili. Asante Rashid, vile vile akina Victor atachukua nafasi ni warejeshe katika studio zote mbili hadi wakati ujao. Mimi naitwa Dora Manya.
You're still watching Good Morning Kenya. My name is Mike Migwe. Health Tuesday it is, and today we are looking at healthy living and the whole importance of regular health checkups. Today we are concentrating on the benefits of preventive and routine screenings, especially when it comes to renal matters, especially for people living with diabetes and hypertension. And those conditions, the two conditions, are one of the leading causes of kidney problems, and as such it makes it important that getting regular checkups becomes a priority for you, because according to the Kenya Renal Association figures that we are looking at, 4 million Kenyans are dealing with one or something. They have something that relates to kidney problems, meaning 1 in 10 has such problems. And to help me in this conversation in studio, I'm joined by Dr. Edward Jogu, who is the head of renal department at Kenyatta University Teaching and Referral Hospital. Welcome to Good Morning Kenya.
Thank you.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing very well.
Yes.
And thank you, Mike, for having me here.
Karibu sana.
I am glad to join your section of healthy living.
Yes.
To share the latest.
Yes.
And to share 1 or 2 things with my fellow Kenyans.
Yes.
Yes.
Indeed. You know, 4 million is a lot of, is a number too high, meaning yes. 1 in 10 persons living with a kidney problem. Why do you think these numbers stand where they are as at now?
I think the high numbers of people who are suffering from kidney diseases, they've been driven by many aspects. One is that previously kidney diseases and ailments have been diseases that people have ignored for a long time. On the other hand, we have the new burden and the new challenge of non-communicable diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, cancer, kidney cancer, heart problems. All these are illnesses in one way or the other. They are driving the high numbers of people who are suffering from the kidney diseases. And I think, as we shall be able to see later, is that unfortunately a lot of these kidney diseases do not have the typical symptoms that you'd expect. So these people, the 4 million people you are talking about, which could even be 5 million currently, most of them do not even know they have a kidney problem. Yes.
Indeed. Remember, you can be part of this conversation, and the question of the day that we are asking is, what questions do you have regarding diabetes or hypertension? The number to text or call is 0716 103301. 0716 103301. Daktari, as we continue talking about the common kidney diseases, what are they and what are their primary causes?
Okay. The kidney diseases can be divided into two. There's what we call acute kidney diseases. Those are diseases that affect kidney for a short time. And there are also others that we call chronic kidney disease that affect kidneys for a long time. The commonest causes, especially if we focus on the chronic kidney disease, which may be more of our focus today, the commonest causes, one is diabetes. It is estimated almost 40% of chronic kidney diseases are caused by the diabetes. Number two cause is hypertension, which we also call high blood pressure. And remember, these things, these illnesses, they do not cause the kidney problem over a short time. It is something that is there for a long time. Number three is that we have what we call obstructive causes. These are conditions or diseases that block the proper flow of the urine from the body. So the kidneys were working very well, but in one way or the other, through the system of the urine release, then there's a blockage. We find this commonest, especially in men who are suffering from prostate diseases like prostate enlargement or prostate cancer, and this blocks the urine to flow out. We also find this in women who could be suffering from the cancer of the cervix. And because of the cervix, of the blockage by maybe a tumor or a cancer, a person whose kidneys were completely okay, due to the blockage, then their kidneys are affected and they stop working properly. So that is number three. Number four, we would say there are some hereditary diseases that are inherited, and some of the commonest is what we call polycystic kidney disease. So this is a hereditary illness that kidneys tend to have things that we call cysts, and it's also one of the commonest cause of kidney disease. To finish is that there are infections and inflammations that we also that can also contribute to the kidney disease. For instance, there are diseases like lupus. Maybe you have had a condition called lupus. Lupus causes inflammation of the kidney and the kidney system. Infections like HIV, especially if they are left untreated, they can cause infection and inflammation of the kidneys. So those, I would say, are some of the 5 commonest causes of kidney diseases: diabetes, high blood pressure, blockage of the urine, genetic conditions, and some causes of inflammation. Yes.
If we are talking about symptoms of identifying these problems that are relating to kidney disease,
yes,
are these symptoms outright or they are very subtle, and what can one look out for?
Unfortunately, Mike, is that most of the kidney symptoms are very subtle, and some of them only come when the kidney problem is very advanced. But some of the symptoms we would mention concerns the urine. When there are changes in the urine volume, probably the urine volume or the amount or the time somebody was going to relieve themselves becomes very few, and the amount becomes very little, or the amount goes on the other hand. They are going to relieve themselves too much, and they can feel the amount of the urine they are passing is too high. That could be a symptom of the kidney disease. Number two, if the urine color is changing, for instance, the color may become dark, may be brown, it may be red, or it may be frank blood. That could also be a sign of a kidney disease. Also, there could be foaming. When somebody relieves themselves, they notice that the urine is foaming. That could be an early sign that somebody is having a kidney problem. Other signs that people may have is swelling. That could be swelling of the face and swelling of the leg, but face, especially in the face. And this swelling may be very subtle, may come, it's there in the morning, but in the course of the day, the swelling is disappearing. That could also be another sign of a kidney disease. Finally, high blood pressure could be another early sign of kidney disease. I do not want to scare our viewers. It's not everybody who has high blood pressure has a kidney problem, but many kidney diseases tend to cause high blood pressure. So high blood pressure could be an early sign of a kidney problem. But as you can see from all these symptoms, there is no pain and there is no other major symptoms that or a swelling that would reflect to. And this emphasizes why it is very important to screen and to test people for the kidney diseases. Yes.
And it doesn't mean that even if you have, you don't have hypertension or diabetes, you don't need to go to a screening. You also need to go to a screening to get that assurance that your body is working at its optimal status.
Definitely.
Now, if you're talking about this screening, Daktari,
yes,
are there tests, specific tests that people need to do, especially if you want to establish if your kidney is working correctly?
Yes, Mike, the tests are there, and they are very simple. I would mention 3 types of tests.
Yes.
The first and there are various ways of doing screening, Mike.
Yes.
Initially, I think before you go to the test, you can just visit a healthcare provider who can do a quick history, who can ask you about some questions about your personal history, about your family history, because some histories may point towards a kidney problem. After that, they can do a quick physical examination. After that, there are some tests that can be done. This test is a urine test. There's a test we call urinalysis. That is a very simple test. And through the urinalysis, this is a test that takes about 10 to 30 minutes to get the results. From there, your healthcare provider can tell you, are there signs of the kidney, are there signs of kidney disease in your urine? Number 2, there's a test we call UECs. That's a very simple blood test. Again, not expensive. It comes out in about an hour or 2 hours, and the doctor or your provider can be able to give you the results and tell you if your kidney test or your kidneys are working well. On very special cases, somebody may require what we call an ultrasound. An ultrasound is a safe scan that can be done. It checks your kidneys, it checks your urine system, and your healthcare provider can be able to tell you, is there any abnormalities that are seen on your kidneys or your urinary system. In addition to that, there are a few other simple screening tests, like for sugar. You understand what I said, majority of our kidney diseases are caused by diabetes, so even screening for sugar is part of screening for the kidney.
And this is to establish sugar levels within the body?
Yes, to establish your sugar levels in the body, and your healthcare provider can be able to tell you, do you have diabetes or not? Also, during that screening, you can have the blood pressure taken, and because again, high blood pressure is the second commonest cause of kidney diseases. So with checking a sugar, blood pressure, a urine, and the blood test for the kidney, a lot of screening and information can be obtained that can help a person know the status of their kidneys and their kidney health. Yes.
If you're talking about this screening, Daktari,
yes.
How often should they be? For either you have these problems of diabetes, hypertension and kidney problems, or you are just healthy. How regular should these screenings be?
Okay, so I think this screening has been tried to be simplified. What we would say is that for somebody who is healthy and they have been tested previously, they do not have any chronic diseases or illnesses or conditions like diabetes or hypertension, then the recommended screening is 60 years. Okay, 60 years. So that if somebody is 60 years, even if you feel you are completely healthy, or even if you feel your parent is completely healthy or a relative and you want to help them in their health, they should go for the screening. And they are advised to do for screening every 1 to 2 years, even if they are completely healthy.
Okay.
But for people who have other conditions, people who have diabetes, people who have high blood pressure, people who are living with HIV, people who have cancer or have suffered cancer before, people who have a heart condition, or people who have a strong family history of kidney diseases, they should start evaluation by the age of 40. Okay? So, and after they have been tested the first time, their healthcare provider should be able to advise them how frequently they should be testing. But generally is 1 to 2 years. They should be getting these kidney tests. Okay? And even if we say it is 60 years for people who are healthy, there's really no problem even when a younger person goes for testing after the age of 40. But the people who have these chronic conditions, this must be done very diligently. After the first test, your healthcare provider may say, while other people, we test them every year, we want to do every 6 months, or we want to do every 3 months. So your provider can be able to advise you how frequently you can do the tests.
Indeed. In terms of demographics and from your practice, what demographic is more susceptible to these problems? And from your practice also, is there an indication that these kidney problems are now affecting the younger generations as opposed to yesteryears?
Yes, previously a lot of kidney problems were isolated to people who are elderly, and that is why that age of 60 had been there. But now with the change of the diseases and the patterns of the diseases that we are now having in the country, in the world, we are having much younger people. We have quite a significant number of teens, quite a significant number of young people, even below 40, who are having kidney diseases, and even a few children who are also suffering from chronic kidney diseases. So there is every reason to encourage people who are above 40 years to go for testing and for screening. And even those people who have chronic conditions and they are below 40 years, they should be tested regularly and be screened regularly for kidney diseases. Yes.
Indeed. Remember, you can be part of this conversation, and our question of the day is, what question do you have regarding diabetes or hypertension? The number to text is 0716 103301, 0716 103301, and we shall sample some of your texts as the program continues. That is a question of the day displayed on your screen. What do you have What question do you have regarding diabetes or hypertension? We shall be sampling some of your text as the program continues. Daktari, now, diabetes, as you have said, is one of the causes of kidney problems.
Yes.
We have diabetes and hypertension.
Yes.
Can they occur together?
Yes, they can.
What are the dangers there?
They can occur together, and actually many times they seem to develop together for many people. And in addition, some people who are diabetic seems to develop high blood pressure after some time, and vice versa. There could be many reasons that cause that, but what we'd say is that a lot of the risk factors for diabetes are also risk factors for hypertension. So if it is some genetic aspects, if it is a lifestyle aspect, many of those diet, exercise, activity and all that, a lot of these are interrelated. And sometimes as the diabetes progresses, one of the complications of the diabetes with time is also development of high blood pressure. So there is a close interrelationship between the two conditions. They are sisters.
Yes.
Yes.
And even as we are talking about benefits of these preventive and routine screenings,
yes.
If there is diabetes and hypertension, kidney problems, how does treatment look like?
That's a broad question in terms of treatment. So how I would think about it is that the treatment, there's an aspect of prevention, there's an aspect of diagnosis, and there's an aspect of the actual, now what we call treatment and medication.
Yes.
So I think in terms of what would start with, probably is the how could we be able to prevent kidney diseases. I think that would be one of the areas that we can think about. And there could be very many aspects of the prevention of the kidney diseases. And one of the aspects, of course, is lifestyle. And I think for now, people have been educated a lot about lifestyle changes and adjustments that they need to do to protect their kidneys. And some of the lifestyle changes include what people eat and their diet. And many times we are encouraging people to take food that has less sugar and less salt, food that is rich in vegetables and fruits. If somebody has already a kidney disease, they will need to discuss the aspect of the vegetables and fruits with their provider. But for now, we are talking as a way of preventing kidney disease. Of course, we encourage people to take less processed food, which are becoming more and more popular. And of course, in terms of fluid and hydration, kidneys love water, and we encourage people to drink sufficient water. People have mentioned 8 glasses in a day, which translates to about 2 liters. Of course, some people require slightly less than that, others require slightly more than that, but that is on the aspect of diet. We encourage people to be healthy, to stay active, and to exercise. Again, because of the change in the society and our work and job, a lot of people now are leading more sedentary lives. But we encourage people to stay active, do an exercise of at least 150 minutes per week. That's about 30 minutes aerobic activity 5 days a week. Smoking is very harmful to the kidneys, and we encourage people to stop smoking, and those who have not started, they should not start smoking. Limiting alcohol, excessive use of alcohol is harmful to the kidneys. We encourage people to maintain the correct weight, because obesity has now been proven is a cause kidney diseases, and this is now affecting, as you said, young people. So young people, you just find they don't have diabetes, they don't have hypertension, they are obese. You do a kidney biopsy to check what is happening to them. You just find it is their overweight and the overweight or obesity that is killing their kidneys. So people need to maintain the healthy weight. There are a lot of herbal medications and supplements that people are taking. I think people need to criticize a bit more. Why do I need this supplementation? Why do I have to take this herbal medication? Some herbal medications we do not know. There are herbal medications that it's clearly known what somebody is taking, but there's also a lot of backstreet herbal medication. You don't know the ingredients. They have been shown to be harmful to the kidneys, harmful to the liver. And finally, this aspect of over-the-counter medications. Some of the painkillers and medications people are buying habitually for a very long time over the counter. Some of them have been shown to be harmful to the kidneys. So I would encourage the viewers and the listeners to look at some of this preventive way as a way of protecting their kidneys even before we come to the actual medication or treatment for their kidneys.
Doctor, you mentioned something about eating fruits, but then again, these fruits have sugar. Then there is that sugar, natural sugar, and this other one, synthetic sugar. So where is the balance? Do you take fruits that are, because you're talking about fruits like melon, apples, pawpaws, mangoes, they all have sugar. So how do you approach that?
So what I would say, Mike, is to make the talk very simple for our viewer and our listener, is that if somebody has other conditions like diabetes or the kidney, they may require special advice on the kind of fruit they may need to eat, and that can be discussed another time and can be discussed personally with a nutritionist, or a dietitian. But for the general population, having a mango, eating an orange, eating a pawpaw, eating some berries, it should not really be a problem to them. But a few people with some conditions, they need their fruit regimen and sizes discussed and personalized by a dietitian, especially people with diabetes or people who have already developed especially advanced kidney disease. But most of the general population, they tend to take less fruits than, the worry is that they take less than enough.
When you look at social media, talk is rife about, I don't know, you take melon, you take mangoes, you are taking sugar, and that is going to damage your kidneys. And people are listening to all manner of information on social media and taking it as the actual advice without even consulting the expert. I think it should be important to consult someone,
It is. They need to consult, and in addition, we are also not taking sufficient vegetables, greens, Those are things that are getting less and less in our plates, and you find our plates have more and more carbohydrates, more and more proteins, and more spices and manufactured processed things to make the food taste sweeter or better. But that aspect of spinach, that aspect of cabbage, skuma, terere, and other traditional vegetables that people used to take, that is growing less and less. And majority of Kenyans, especially men, they need to take more of that. They should not say that's for children.
Let's say I just woke up today and I want to just go and do a checkup. For my kidney. What kind of a test should I go and ask for?
Okay, so the level of testing can be what we call basic, and can also be a bit more comprehensive, The basic tests is what I have mentioned today.
Yes.
Blood pressure, sugar, urine, it's called urinalysis. Number 4, UECs. We call it UECs.
Yes.
That's a blood test. We would call that a basic package for the kidney. Okay? But we can have even a more comprehensive. It will include the basic, have your blood pressure, your weight, your BMI calculated. It will have the sugar, have the urinalysis, and have the UECs. But on top of that, there are a few other tests that are associated with kidney health, like what we call HB1C. We call it glycated hemoglobin. There is a test we also call uric acid that can also be added there. Another test that can be added there is what we call UACR. UACR. If you talk to your doctor about UACR, they would be able to tell you what it is. It's a urine test. And finally, somebody can have an ultrasound. An ultrasound is a scan. It's a safe and very quick scan that is able to look at the structure of your kidneys and look if there's any problems in your system. And when the scan is done, for men, it will also be able to look at the prostate and the bladder, and for the women it will be able to look at the kidneys, look at their bladder, and it can give you more information. So depending on your preference, on your finances, you can either do the basic package or you can even do a bit more comprehensive test for the kidney. Yes.
Is there a way that can expectant mothers, can they go for these screenings during the period of the pregnancy?
Yes. So pregnant mothers usually go through some of these screening initially at the beginning, but not all of them are recommended. There are particular ones that are recommended by the midwives and the obstetricians, and it is very important for them because, again, there are diseases, there are kidney diseases that can develop during pregnancy. However, after delivery, after about 1 year, then we would invite them to come back and have a more comprehensive test. But yes, there are basic tests that can be done in pregnancy, and they can be able to be guided by the midwife or their healthcare provider on those tests. Yes.
Let's say a diagnosis has proven that you are diabetic or you have hypertension.
Yes.
How can one manage that condition to protect their kidneys and prevent further damage?
Okay.
Yes.
So that's a very good question, and it affects a big part of our population. Is that the first step is to accept, because one of the challenges we have with our people is that many people do not accept that this problem is there. We need an aspect of acceptance whereby people accept, yes, I've been diagnosed with diabetes, I've been diagnosed with high blood pressure, but this is not the end, because many people say it is not there. They say the doctor is exaggerating. They say, I can't feel pain, I don't feel unwell, I think this illness is imaginary. I want to emphasize that these are what we call NCDs. They are non-communicable diseases. They don't have pain, and you cannot use symptoms to decide on the treatment. So acceptance. Number 2, of course, is education and knowledge, and I believe this is part of the reason why, Mike, you are holding this show, is to educate people, to help them understand that these illnesses are very different from the previous illnesses of malaria, TB, and others that people understood a while ago. After that is that we encourage proper control of the diabetes and the high blood pressure. So your healthcare provider will be able to guide you whether you need medicine or not. So the control of those illnesses involves the lifestyle adjustment. So there are people whose diabetes or blood pressure can just be controlled by lifestyle adjustment. So if that is what your healthcare says, then they should be able to treat you to target. okay? So whether they are going to use lifestyle or they are going to recommend medication, I recommend to the viewer and to the listener to be able to follow the recommendation their doctor or healthcare provider has given. Most importantly, whatever method they use, then we say they need to be treated to target. Okay, there's a certain level we want the sugar to be for a particular person. There's a target that we want the blood pressure to be. So ensure with your healthcare provider you are meeting those targets. Understand what are your targets, okay? And journey with your healthcare provider to see that you have reached those targets. So if the BP is not well controlled, speak with your healthcare provider to see what else do we need to do, what do we need to adjust, do we need to add a medicine, do we need to remove a medicine to ensure that I'm treated to target. After you've been treated to target, people who are suffering this condition, they must agree to be going for regular clinics. A lot of people, after they feel well, then they disappear from the clinics. Even if the clinics are spaced every 3 months, 4 months, or 6 months, depending on your healthcare provider, please ensure you attend the clinics. Do not disappear, because we see many people, they disappear into the thin air only for them to come back when things have gotten worse and they never discovered. Remember what we said is that many times these illnesses don't have symptoms. So many clinics are about 3 to 4 months. So ensure you adhere to those clinics. During those clinics, apart from the consultation and discussion with your doctor or provider, kindly ensure the screening tests are done. So every 1 to 2 years, or however you'll be guided by your provider, ensure that the screening tests are being done, so that you can always objectively also check and see how the internal organs, like the kidney, are working. So that is one way, that is a way I would advise my listener as a way of dealing with diabetes, hypertension, and protecting their kidneys. Yes.
You know, you said something very important, and I think you need to stress on it. You cannot use symptoms to decide treatment.
Yes.
Because that is the biggest mistake that people make.
Yes.
If you may expound more on it.
Yes. So what we have found is that people are having challenges of transitioning from what we call communicable diseases to non-communicable diseases. So communicable diseases were diseases like TB, malaria, pneumonia, diarrhea. So these are diseases that had symptoms. If you had TB, people are used to, you'd cough. If you had malaria, people are used to have joint pains and fever. If somebody had typhoid or something, or cholera, then they would have diarrhea and vomiting. So now that mindset, it's very difficult for many people to transition, especially the older people, because they say, that thing that I cannot feel, that thing that I cannot see as swelling, that thing that I can't see the symptom, then it does not exist. Then if it doesn't have symptoms, then it cannot harm me, okay? But we are here to educate them that many of now the newer illnesses, they are very, very silent. They don't have pain, they don't have swelling, and may not have symptoms. And some symptoms may only be picked when you go to be tested. And some diagnoses may only be made when a test has been done. So we emphasize, please do not wait for symptoms, okay? Go and be ahead of the symptom. Of course, another thing, of course, people say, if I discover something, it will stress me. I think we used to have a lot of this kind of thinking with the HIV/AIDS. And I think the society now has accepted, I better know my status, and if it is negative, I know how to live negatively. If it is positive, I know how to live positively, and I know I can get intervention. The same thing applies with these diseases. You better know your condition so that you can protect what is there. And even if you are discovered to have a kidney problem, it is better you know, so that you protect the part of the kidney that is remaining, or you can get a treatment that can help reverse something that is already happening to your kidney. So hiding and burying the head under the sun is not a solution.
Yes.
Thank
Someone is asking, is there kidney transplant at Kenyatta University Teaching, Referral and Research Hospital?
Yes. Kenyatta University Teaching and Referral Hospital is a level 6 hospital, highly specialized, offers a lot of highly specialized treatments, and currently they are also offering transplant services. If somebody is interested, they can call toll-free number 1558, or they can visit a transplant clinic. We have a weekly transplant clinic that runs on Tuesday morning hours from around 11 a.m. A day like today, and they can meet our competent staff members who can be able to advise them on the next steps about the kidney transplant. So they have already carried out several successful transplant surgeries from the beginning of this year.
Okay.
Thank you.
For those who may not access specialized care and they have these problems, what practical steps can they take to ensure that they protect their kidneys?
So I think this question is not a very easy one, especially where access is an issue. I think this has been raised especially in people in rural areas whereby maybe the healthcare services are not very well supported, or they are very far. But I would start with a positive note, is that many of the lifestyle adjustments that we have mentioned, many of them are easier to implement, especially on the rural areas.
Yes.
They are likely going to get a better diet, more fresh fruits and vegetables.
Yes.
They mainly partake less processed foods. They are able to, their work involves a lot of walking and physical work, which is protective to their kidneys. I would also inform them that 75% of the causes of the kidney diseases is diabetes and high blood pressure. So diabetes and high blood pressure, these are conditions that can be managed in level 2 and level 3 hospitals, which are available in many places, whether in the rural or even here in the urban centers. I would also say that many of the tests, the screening tests that I have advised for the kidneys, they can be done in level 3 and level 4 hospitals, okay? And in those hospitals, they also have doctors who are qualified to deal with the early stages of the kidney. So I think there's still something that can be done, even in places where these highly specialized services are not offered, and they may be able to deal maybe with over 80 to 85% of the diabetes, hypertension, and the kidney conditions. However, if they are beyond the level of those hospitals, then we, even many faith-based and private hospitals, they are able to carry out some, because in some rural areas you find they are faith-based, they are also government hospitals. So there are few cases, unfortunately, they will require referral to level 5 and level 6 hospitals. And honestly speaking, I would say if a condition for a patient has reached there and that service is not available there, I think a referral to a higher level is better to safeguard the health of that person.
Indeed.
Yes.
Dr. I want you to look at that camera and talk to Kenyans about why screenings, regular screenings, are important.
Okay, thank you, Mike. My fellow Kenyans, what I would say is that diabetes and hypertension and other non-communicable diseases have increased and the number of people suffering from this condition is much higher than previously. And unfortunately, many times the kidney problems and kidney illnesses, they do not have symptoms until they have advanced. So the best way to diagnose and deal with the kidney problems is by screening, and screening early so that a problem can be diagnosed and can be addressed early. So I'm encouraging every person who is over 60 years and has no other condition, or a person who is 40 years and has a strong family of kidney diseases in their family, or they have diabetes, hypertension, HIV, lupus, cancer, heart condition, then even from the age of 40, agree to go for the screening. Screening is available, screening is not complex, and screening is not expensive. Please take control of your kidney health by screening early and addressing the problem early.
Yes.
Thank you.
Indeed. Dr. your time is very much appreciated.
Thank you.
That is Dr. Edward Njogu from the Kenyatta University Teaching and Referral Hospital. He is the head of the renal department. This is where we end this conversation, and the entire Good Morning team, on behalf of everybody who made this happen. Thank you for watching. Up next is Abdiaziz Hashim with the news check. Stay with us.